Hello. I am trying to get these headphones to work. I'm not sure why they are not cooperating. Let's see. Um, Only happens on this Mac. My other Mac, it's got a. I think it's because I think this Mac's Bluetooth or something's like 3.0. So I don't know. And the newer Macs are on the Bluetooth 5 point 0 stuff or whatever. I believe that's why I had issues. These are newer headphones, I guess. They're more optimized for the newer Bluetooth version. I don't know. That was some of the stuff I read. Maybe it's just a bunch of BS, but seem I've been able to get this to work recently, and I don't know why this now. Now it's being a turkey. Let's see if we can get this sucker to work. I'm gonna try to reset. Typically, too. Typically, it's funny. The last two times I must have did something just in a slightly different step because typically I had to like remove, like do the whole reset thing and then like restart the whole entire um, computer and everything. But I don't remember exactly what steps I guess I did because now I can't seem to get it to connect again. Come on, baby. Pick up. That is unfortunate. I guess I can. Let's see. Do I have a wire around here? Although the last time I did something wired, I wound up having issues, which is a nuisance. I wound up my audio was coming across like all friggin' weird. Um, Supposedly from viewers. Let's see. Power this off. Because you don't need power when you're using wired, right? So not add any more additional interference. Let's see if that's. I don't even hear the music. Why is I not hearing music? Oh, yeah, I gotta change out the. We're doing a little configuration of headphones right now. Oh, that's right. I need to add. Darn it. Oh, wait. No, actually. Can I swap this and this still work? Nope. This is the problem with Macs and okay, it's still playing the music down there. All right. Right? You're still getting music there, aren't you? Yeah, okay. Um this is the problem with the Mac thing is you gotta like add this back in now. Let's see. I think I can just go built-in output. But now the question is, how do you can you control the volume still from this or no? Probably not, right? When it's powered off, right? Uh, okay, so then what I want to test out here is I probably mute the background out. It's too much Halsey in the. um, all right, I'm gonna see if I can listen because this is the only way I know how to actually pick up whether or not test test no right is it on that Does that? I need somebody to be in the chat to listen if that's actually working properly. Mute that. Why can't I hear my monitor back on? Oh, because it would be on this, wouldn't it? Okay. That sounds crystal. Okay. Yeah, I used to run into these issues. Well, I shouldn't say I did once. Um, oh, that's actually interesting. This is working really well this time. I always wondered if people monitor into their head or do they just talk? Because now, let's see, if I listen to music, and now I can hear myself a little bit in the background. It's kind of weird though. I don't know. I don't think I like that. When it's by itself, it's not that big a deal, but when you do it like this. Okay. All right. Cool. Let's see. All this goodness still. Twitch login. Why not? Why not? We're running a little late on the stream tonight. It's gonna be okay, it's gonna be alright. We're gonna get down with some JavaScript. We're gonna write some type code tonight. Oh, here we go. Get your code hustle on, let's flow. And I know that we're gonna get to it. I'm a syntax ninja, gonna get you with some algorithms. Mark all is red, sure, why not? Mark them. I don't want to see you flashing at me like that anyway. All right, cool. This thing never seems to work. I don't know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. This was supposed to work back in the day. Are you working tonight? Are you working? Cody, tell me something, you little sucker. Come on. Show me some love. How loud is the music coming across, I wonder, right now? Is that a little too loud? You can tell me if you want to. All right, more notifications. You can now gift Kappa coins. Coins gifting. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like fun. Happy spring, streamers. Gifting is now available. You can now gift anyone Kappa coins, even yourself. Currently, we don't have a messaging system to notify the recipient of your gift, but that will be soon. Okay. Well, isn't that fantastical? All right. See, I put this command in here. Cody, I'm supposed to say this. My name is Cody. We're learning JavaScript basics today. It's not working. I don't know why. Never can get it to work. I wish there was a test thing from here. There's no way to test. There's no way to test for some reason from here. Unless somebody knows something I don't know about it. And we also got stream elements going. I don't know if this still works. Is this working? Let's see. I like to test these things out, you know, why not? I usually test them before I come on stream, but hey, oh, let's use some Chemical X ones. He's a swell guy. CL Dubs, yes. He had a fun cast going on today. It was kind of funny. We got into some good stuff. He's a riot. I really yeah, I'm hoping we actually he mentioned that he'd like to maybe do an on-stream collab of talk some DevOps. He's doing a DevOps stream, and he wanted to maybe have me come on and chit chat with him. So I was like, yeah, all about it, all about it. Let's see here. So let's see. Drop me some. Now, see what happens is they were like popping up, but how come they're not falling? They're supposed to fall. I'm gonna see what's up with that right now. Authorize? I already authorized you a long time ago. Why are you asking me again? Silly. I was chilling on a Thursday night. It was feeling oh so right. About to write some JavaScript. Gonna look around, gonna do it with my brain in my mind. Gonna turn this place upside down and make it look like mine. Cause I can't help myself. I got a syntactical kind of flow, it kind of felt. If you can't have fun with yourself, why not? Gotta be able to make yourself laugh, right? Entertain yourself. Cool, where we're at. I wanted to see my overlays. I had this one. Can I preview? Eh, supposed to do stuff. I think the preview is like whatever. Let's see, edit, edit. Oh, you know what? Let me go jump on there right now. Well, since nobody's here anyway, right now I don't think. What did I have in here? Animation random. See, it's supposed to be doing random. Maybe it should just be bounce all the time. Bounce. 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 B-O-U-N-C. Get down with you and me. Let's see if will one of them bounce. Bubble bounce. Let's see. Chit chat. Maybe because I'm in it? I don't know. It's not, didn't want to work. That's all good. Whatever. This is just the fun part, right? One of these days, what I do want to do though is I wanted to see about this part. Excuse me. Let's take a gander. Isn't it over here somewhere? Yeah, we go. Channel stuff. Video producer, creator dashboard. Where is it under? I am trying to. That's not even too far off on that lag. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Oh, look at this. They got this try mod view. This is where I think, yeah. Oh, let me get off here because it's going to be weird. Creator dashboard. What was I doing? Video producer. Yeah, right? Because this is where I was like, you can download these. I was like, you can download them? Put all your best videos in one spot. Okay, why are my videos not in there anymore? Oh, that's collect. Where do I see the... Oh, is it not in here? Where did I could have sworn the other day. Oh, maybe it was this, yeah. Okay, so this was... So which one did I have issue with? Okay, so let me see. So here, you can download these. I love it. Oh, I bet you it optimizes it too and everything. So that if you go from here to like to YouTube. Oh, export? Can you export this out to like YouTube? That would be sick. Because did I do this one? JS Basic. I had an issue with this the other day. Let's see, YouTube. Ooh. It's just me. Hey. I don't know what they changed. You used to be able to go to like your name. Mohammed, what's up? How you doing? How's life treating you? I am. I'm just cruising around here. No, actually, I'm trying to upload the video here. I wanted to check out the like, well, right now I'm doing a download because I wanted to see. Um, but I saw this export and I'm like, can you export directly to like another platform? That would be sweet. Because yeah, I had issue videos the other day. I couldn't get the other one wouldn't open. Excuse me, the other one would not upload, or it got frozen. But yeah, I was curious. So if you do export, what does that do? Oh, you're kidding me. Are you serial? Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Public, yeah, baby. Get the whole thing. Split the video into 15-minute segments? No. We're gonna give them the whole 2.5 hours. That's awesome. I guess I don't think I can cancel the download. I was downloading this one here. Did it already finish? Because it said prayer pairing. Now it says download. Okay. Was this the one I wanted to do first? Yeah, the oh no, wait, 30th, right? Wait, which ones did I miss? This is the June 25th. Oh, so and wait, how could that be? That's part 2. Let's see, part 2. So which one? Boy, I don't remember which. Right? Now, this is what I'm curious about too. Is do you remember? I don't know. I think you were on right when. I'm trying to think. How can I turn this down on my headphones? So as you can see, I'm like wired. My Bluetooth wouldn't work this morning. The person I know you from is back to streaming. Sweet, that's awesome. So you've been hanging out on their channel quite a bit. Have they been hitting it up a lot? I can't. I have to do it through this. I don't know how I can lower the music without without it being. I might just pull my ear off back of the back like that, I guess. Um. Oh, so anyway, I was saying, I had this set up to, in the settings to be connected to YouTube, but I thought it auto did that. And maybe this is where that feature exists, is that you have that set up and then you can export from here to there. It's kind of not the way it reads if you look at what it says above. I don't even remember where that's at. It actually says, that this exports as your. Let's see if I can find where that was at. That was no. But yeah, it was. I had set it up that way, but yeah, I don't know where it's at. It doesn't really matter. I could have sworn that I had the collections had all the videos in it, but I guess not. Video producer. So I'm gonna try this real quick. I wanted to see how this works, but I'm just trying to remember which one. So this is the 25th. I'm gonna go with this one because, although that does look like. Let me see if that looks the same. Is that one? No, that looks different. I'm gonna try it. I don't know. Whatever. What's the worst thing that happened? Have 2 of the same videos up there? No, there's not anybody watching them right now anyway. Export. Syntax Sundays. All right. What do I want to tag it with something? Let's tags code hustle. Oh wait, I wonder. Yeah, because I think I actually have. Now, would the tag be correlated to where I post these? Because every time I post one of these, it says, where is the edit title and description? No, it asks you. Darn it. I'm drawing a blank right now. It asks you where you want, what playlist you want to put it into. Let's see. I wonder if tags allow you. So Twitch live coding. I don't know if that would be necessarily it. That'd be kind of cool though if it did. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try it out just in case it happens to be that way. Probably not likely, but so we'll do that. We'll leave it like that, and then I want to start this export. Let's see how this works. How do you know? No progress bar? Hey! Killing me. So, Mohammed, what else is going on? Hey, let's figure out how to make you a mod. How do you do that? You want to be one? Actually, I should ask you. I shouldn't just assume. You've just been here since the beginning, and you're always like when people jump in. Oh, look at that little robot. Yeah, he's cool. Did he say something yet? See what I typed up above. Bang, Cody, Codey. Do you mod on other people's channels by chance? Just out of curiosity. I don't really know what. I mean, to me, it's just somebody that kind of helps out, right? And like if somebody gets kind of out of control. Um, Now, what is this? Is this the export of? That can't be right. Or is this the download? Oh, now I'm like, oh, I guess we'll see. It's either going to be this or it's going to automatically show up here in the list. Because when you say export, it makes it think that it's going to push it out to YouTube on its own. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you just do download, right? Kong KZ, how's it going? Let me see if I don't, you know what? I don't know if I have a command. I did have a command for project set up. We're kind of just screwing around with some. I just kind of jumped on and just started screwing around with some of the stream element stuff because I actually haven't really spent any time messing with anything that's in here. As you're aware, since the Bang project did not seem to work, um, I know I have it set in here. Where are these stupid things at? What is it? Alert box or something? Somewhere in here, isn't it? Cloudbot, something like that. I always forget. You can see how much time I spend in here, right? Oh, there we go, right? Commands. Let's see. See, I had a, yeah, see, look, I had project. And that funky, look, I wonder if that's because, I wonder if this is because I'm running like, I'm trying to maybe run too many things. KZ is, well, first of all, thanks for stopping in, man. Or sorry, I said man. I always do that. It's such a bad habit. I need to stop saying man or dude after every time. I don't know who you are, KZ. You could be like, this super cool alien that swung in tonight, and just started to drop in from outer space and was like, let me go check out this, JavaScript thing and see what's up. But, I need to stop making those assumptions. But anyway, yeah, I've had trouble with these like stream elements things. This is that little robot thing on the left there called a Kapamon, and I was messing with that too, and that doesn't seem to be working. Or it works when it wants to. So I was like, I wonder if it's because there's too many of these things running at the same time. Because this should work too. Like if you drop a emoji in there, it's supposed to like in the screen here, they should drop. Or yeah, they should like bounce or something inside here. So feel free to throw some emojis in there and see if it actually does. But yeah, I don't know what. We'll see. So yeah, I was trying to also see, I was checking out the video producer here. I'd not known that you can download. Yeah, right on. Let's see if what I see. Now, sometimes I wonder what I'm seeing in the Streamlabs OBS versus what actually shows up. I mean, that's supposed to be a depiction of your live screen, but sometimes I question whether that's getting a good feed. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Did you see anything, Mohammed, when that dropped? Did you see when you put those emojis? Did anything happen? Probably not. Probably not. So, KZ, apologies if you stopped in expecting to see some JavaScript right away. I was kind of running a little late and stopped in, so I kind of started a little bit late. And is this just on like repeat or something? Why does it keep playing the same song over again? Oh, that could be why. One. No wonder why it never gets past. Although that's 10 hours. We should be good with that. Yeah, so they're not really working on a project per se. KZ just doing some JavaScript basics. Actually, I've had. It's actually good that we didn't start right away. I don't know if he'll drop in tonight, but Ezekiel, we were working with him on some going through JavaScript basics. Um, and so I don't see him in the. Yeah, right. It's not showing up. But yeah, I don't see Hezi in the chat this evening. Um, so I'm lost now. I don't know what to do. No, just kidding. um, but what's what's what you got going on, KZ? You a developer, or are you just swinging in, or um, yeah, what you got going on? Just try to get to know you a little bit. But I was working on, let's see if we still have all this junk up. That was our image swap. This was our, we were going through here. Let's see where we're at. No, okay. um, that's a good question. I actually have not looked. I've been kind of, in all honesty, I've, maybe I still won't look. Unless you really, really want me to. I've kind of been afraid to look. I know that it's, I still think I have some ways to go. Last time I looked, I had like 44 followers, and so I need to get to 50 at least minimum, and then you gotta have all the time, which I have most of the time, and days like random, like get this like what is it, basically stream on every single day of the week if you want to get there quick, because they like, what is it, random days streamed or something like that to make it. So I think I'm pretty close. Um, but oh yes, I'm sorry. I just looked at the last two initials there at the end of, and I didn't want to mess up, so I just was saying KZ. I apologize. Is it, if I say Kong, is that right? Or I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up the pronunciation. So apologies. Please feel free to like phonetically put it into the chat if you'd like, or if you want me to, whatever you'd like me to. Yeah, it's better. Kong? Did I like Kong? Is that better? Like to say it the way I'm saying it? Am I pronouncing it correctly? Cool. All right. Yeah. Ooh, what was that noise? That was interesting. Oh, that must have been from the radio. All right, so where were we at? We were down here, I believe, in the yep, we were making decisions in your code, I think, conditionals. Couldn't you come up with a dark mode MDN web docs? It's probably because they're docs, You're learning front end web, cool. So we are really started at the beginning, Kong. We basically really at the basics. So we started with all, defining variables, how you have let and const, and we talked about var, even though var is not really extensively used as much anymore due to the new, since let and const came out in ES6. But went into that, went into, what all the deal around, variable declaration and what you can declare as variables and best practices, how to name variables, what things you can and cannot name variables, because there are some rules in there, right? Don't start with a number, don't start with a special character, typically, stuff like that. You know, the regulars. And then we got into conditionals now. We went through if-else statements, went into nested if statements, how you do ternary operators, or ternary, and the operators inside the conditions tests. So we went through a lot of that. We basically got all the way through all this here, all the way to the bottom. Talked about, the not operator and and operator to be able to do more than one test inside of a conditional. you know cool, Kong, appreciate it, yeah. Hey, man. And then, you got more experience than other people, or whatever. Hey, that's what's about, man. Jump in, help out. Somebody asks a question, or hey, maybe you teach me something, because I definitely don't know it all either. In fact, this is kind of a reason that I'm doing this. So just a little background on myself. Like, so I work full time as a developer, I guess, if you want to say, and I say that because as of the last about 2 years, I've been heavily on just what's called DevOps, if you're familiar with what that is, developer operations, which is basically a whole methodology to delivering software more securely, more efficiently, and more optimized, and on a continual basis. And so that's really where I've been spending a lot of my time. So a lot of back end work, a lot of like YAML files, configuration files, working more on the server side. And so setting up things like GitLab and OpenShift and things in AWS, using their Elastic Container repositories and load balancers, and really just all the infrastructure side. If you have any background in that, or any experience or knowledge of. And so that's really where I've been spending a lot of my time. So this was kind of a way for me to get back in fresh. JavaScript's my favorite language. I know there's awesome. I love all languages, and honestly, I think it's cool. People do C#, people do Java, sweet. I just found JavaScript to be something that I really enjoyed, and it was, and it was easy for me to learn. No, I shouldn't say easy for me to learn. I understood it. Like, it clicked with me for some reason, and when that happened, like, I think that's where it just, well, I came from the side of like being more on the design side of things and doing more of the front end and CSS and all that, and then just over the years progressively, it's kind of funny. Basically, like, started to the front, worked all the way to the back, and then that's where I'm at now. So it's fun. I get paid all day to go and screw around with DevOps junk and everything else for the Navy, and then you know, and then at night I try to do some other things that to keep myself sharp and do more things that I have enjoyed doing, more fun, and JavaScript's one of them. So, well, I started doing these like syntax Sundays, and then that kind of just led into continuing on just doing more of like, let's just go through all the JavaScript language, like, and learn each of the things, conditionals, functions, all the different types of functions that you can do and what they can accomplish, and then into classes and all that, and then really touch into the ES6 features and above that exist. But yeah, just wanted to start at the core and just kind of work back up. So yeah, it's kind of my story. Was that long-winded enough for you? Where are you from, by the way, if you don't mind sharing? It's always neat to hear where people are from. Like C++, it wasn't a pleasant experience. I don't even know if I know what C++ looks like. You know what I mean? I have probably looked at it before in the past. But right, let's just go look at, this is probably the worst place to go to, right? Why would I go to a Wikipedia article, right, for C++? Come on, show me a snippet. There we go. Yeah, see, hello world. So we got a main function, right? Standard out, right? Basically like a print, whatever, to the console. Craziness. Oh, you know what's up. You've got more experience than me, Con. And I started in IT um, in 1997, but I really did more like sysadmin type stuff and network, not heavy duty like network configuration, but more like actually like setting up like actually we used to do a lot of Cisco and like router installations and stuff, literally like in the hardware side of it, racking it, RJ45 ends and cables and dragging and all that kind of stuff. So kind of gone from all ends of IT. I've worked in building computers to, on the hardware side and doing that thing to, like sysadmin work, uh, help desk work. I've done that, and then just continued. Web development and stuff was actually just a hobby. I was doing it on the side and just really enjoyed it, and was so started getting, as kind of the typical story, friends and people like, oh man, I'm starting this like little business. You think you could help me maybe build a website and stuff? And it's like, yeah, sure. Of course, this is back in the day when it was just like HTML and CSS, really barely kind of, and JavaScript was like, well, maybe you needed a counter at the bottom of your page if you remember those. I don't know how old you are, but back in the day that was a thing. Which wasn't very accurate because you could just go on your page and keep hitting refresh and keep counting it up every time. But everybody, man, they sure cared. 350,000 page views. That's right, dang it. So C++, ooh, it just scares me. So I'm sure it is like, like anything, you spend time, it'll start to feel good. People look at JavaScript and go, that is just the worst. And sometimes it can be, it's a love-hate relationship. Did you say Asia? Oh, you said Asia. Sweet. I lived in Korea for a year. 안녕하세요. 나 이름은 Jerry입니다. It's about all I remember. And like Odincho and Wencho and like Chin Chin, which was like keep going. That was like 20 years ago. All I remember is the first one. Hi, my name is Jerry. What is yours? Something like, I think that's right. That's how long it's been. And then, yeah, lived in England for 3 years as well. Now I'm in the East Coast of the United States, in South Carolina. Lived in Texas, grew up in New York, on Long Island. So yeah, kind of been all over too. Asia was Asia was cool, man. And my son is actually in Japan right now, in Okinawa. My oldest son with his wife and my grandson. So, okay, so yeah, I was just kind of giving you, right, a little rundown on what we were doing. So we had gotten into switch examples, how to do, switch statements. So that was cool. We did all this on in CodePen, I believe, is what we were doing it in. And then we got into the ternary operator, which is a little fun one. It always screws me up every single time, you know. I always forget these things. I always forget what is the silly syntax for that? But that's what I've really been pushing hard, Kong, um, don't get hung up on syntax. And you'll probably, since it sounds like you're pretty experienced as well, right? Newbie, people, I was the same way. Like, I was so worried about like memorizing and learning like the syntax. Like, oh man, you gotta know this stuff, otherwise you're not gonna, because it's, I guess maybe that's like, I was such a bad math person, and I really hated math when I was in school. I have such an appreciation for it now, but and I still suck at it. But I don't know if that's what it comes from. Like, but yeah, I was so hung up on trying to memorize syntax and then over the years, I've noticed that like a lot of other new people, when they start, they really get hung up on that. They feel like they need to memorize it to be successful, and so my why does this song keep repeating itself? This is really annoying me. I mean, not that it's a bad song, but I think this is like the fourth time this is heard. This is supposed to be like a 10-hour mix. Um, But yeah. So why did that not work out? Right? Isn't that weird? I mean, like, does it just keep going over the same stuff over and over? I don't know. We'll keep it right there. This is the Tokyo extended version. Sweet. Okay. Um, yeah. So we did the. Where am I at? Did I just switch over? Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, ternary operator. That was a cool one. Oh, synth. That's what I was talking about. Sorry, I lost track. You know, ADD. No, that's just an excuse for myself. I don't actually have ADD. Well, at least not diagnosed. um, but yeah, I was more pushing the idea for some of the new people that were in, you know, hanging out and following along. That yeah, don't get hung up on the syntax. Just know that the language can do it, right? Just know that oh, this thing has the capability to do math, right? Like that's a perfect one. Oh, there's these math functions that exist in the language, so I know it can do that. You can look up how to syntax, you know, how to write the syntax for any language, but knowing the capability, right, of a language and knowing that it has this ability to do certain things, to me, that's where really a lot of the, you know, a lot of your strength comes in, you know, just being aware, you know, all that other fine, you know, things like syntax and how you do, that's all stuff you can look up. And then again, like I said too, you know, when you write code, you're doing it all the time, you're going to memorize stuff anyway. It's just inevitable, you know. But in the beginning, when you're first learning, I just try, don't get hung up on it. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. You're going to be fine, you know. So I kind of stress that. I think it's important. You maybe you maybe you agree or disagree. I'm not sure, but yeah. So it's cool. Actually, today I jumped on CLW channel. He works for Twilio. If you're familiar with Twilio, it's a, you know, I probably won't describe it properly, but Twilio is a company that provides, let's see, how do they describe themselves? Is a cloud communication connect with customers. Actually, it's funny. This actually described it better on this screen right here, didn't it? Twilio is a cloud communications platform as a service company based in San Francisco, California. Twilio allows software developers to programmatically make and receive phone calls, send and receive text messages, and perform other communication functions using its web service APIs. Right. So yeah, it's super cool. Twilio is a so one of their like advocates and evangelists and works for them as an engineer. He I jumped on his stream. We've been kind of chit chatting, and he today was like, "Hey man, yeah, I know you do DevOps." He's like, "You want to come join me on next? I'm doing a DevOps show, and you know, would you like to come on and as a guest and stuff?" And I was like, "That would be so sweet, man. That's so cool." You know, I just started doing this Twitch thing a couple months ago, so you know, I'm like, I was like super honored to be asked to go hang out on somebody who has like a shit ton of followers and you know people go on his thing every single day and you know and how cool that his company like is all down with him on there because he's using their platform, he's teaching people how to use Twilio. So that's actually something we'll do on stream too because they got a bunch of fun um like I know you said you use it, right? You said you used it once before, but just for testing, right? And it's super cool for that, right? They give you like a free phone number to use. I signed up. I didn't go anywhere with it really, but I just wanted to see what it was about. But yeah, they give you a free phone number and everything so that you can mess around and start playing. Here you go, build community apps, and then there's all these different examples for voice and SMS and auth and all kinds of things. So I was just like, that is cool. That'd be a fun thing to play around with. Um, build a chatbot that sends text messages to people from Twitch. Something crazy. So now I'm kind of hesitant, honestly. And the only reason why we'll see. I guess it doesn't matter. It's recorded, right? These things. It's because we ended up here with doing a simple calendar. We didn't start it, but I guess we can work through it anyway. There was somebody else who has typically showed up for, but Obviously, they must have been occupied. I fully understand. Life is busy. Um, but yeah, so I was like, let's see, do we want to go through? We actually did. We did this, but we just did black and white, like a dark. We did like more like dark mode here, like this. I think I still had it up. Yeah, dark, light. Yep. So this was a basic example that they had earlier on, and then Kong, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. You don't even know. Um, if you want to, I don't know if you hang out on Twitter, but I'm on there as well. Although I have it is Code Hustle. I do have it, but I never tweet under that. That's the account that I tweet on. If you ever want to come and hang out, there's a good. I don't follow anybody else other than developers. Twitter is full of a bunch of other BS, right? And you hear enough about all that. So I rather, so yeah, I mainly only follow developers, and mainly only developers follow me. So if you want to come hang out and get and chit chat developer style. Oh, this could be fun. Okay, so I sent out stickers to. That's one thing I do too, Kong. I like to give out stickers. You're into stickers. You want to show your Code Hustle? Now, Code Hustle is not about me. That's about everybody. That's just like what I call it, because you're always, talking about code, doing code. You wear swag. I got my GitLab shirt on today. Got my Code Hustle hat on. I love it. I got stickers all over everything. I got my Code Hustle stickers. Bam, boom. And if you'd like one, or a few, because I usually send out. I also have those stickers. Which ones? Yeah, so if you'd like some, I usually send out some other ones web related, or if you happen to have I need to get another pack in. I need to get more JavaScript ones. I'm gonna do another Java. I want to do a like Code Hustle specific JavaScript one. So I kind of want to do the same square that they use with the JS in it. But I have some ideas of how I'd like to incorporate a couple other things into it. And yeah, so what were you, the Unix stickers? Is that what the ones your Twitter background? I have those. Oh, yes, right. The Unix stickers, right? Isn't it great? And it's funny because you don't even see that really on the Sticker Mule site, because that's who they come from, is Sticker Mule. But there's really no indicator on their site like that they actually even have that. At least not very predominantly. I don't even remember how I found it. But yeah, if you want to get stickers, like you can just unixstickers.com by Sticker Mule. And you can get a whole slew of. They send you like Fedora. Like Fedora and Bash and GitHub and Ubuntu stickers and Vim and all that stuff. It's like $10. It's pretty cheap. But I get them and then I just give them out to people for free because I think it's fun. And so I just want to spread the developer awesomeness. I bought from AliExpress. Oh, nice. So anyway, I don't know how long it would take to get there, but I just recently sent some out Monday to somebody in New Zealand. So we'll see how long it takes to get there. The longest so far is ones I sent to Canada, which is not that far from where I'm at, really. Although she was, I'm trying to remember what city she was in now. I can't remember. She's a super cool developer. She posts a lot on Twitter. Hey Sarah Paz is what she goes by, and she does a lot of Ruby on Rails and stuff like that. But it took like 2 weeks like a full, like it was actually like 16 or something, 17 days for that to get there. Just a regular like letter, you know. I was surprised it took that long, but everything going on right now, obviously in the world, things are a little crazy. So I can imagine why the post is a little slow. But we'll have to see. So I'm curious to see how fast it gets to New Zealand. That's pretty good distance. But you say you're in Asia, so if you'd like some, you can message me in Twitter or in whisper me here in Twitch if you'd like, or feel comfortable enough to. Don't worry, I'm not collecting your address, and I will not share with anybody. Part of my job is making sure that I keep secrets. Just kidding. Kinda. All right, cool. Oh, actually, I'm curious. Did this do anything? Did it push it across, or do you just have to upload it? So now, I'm kind of. Oh, look what it's doing, Mohammed. Do you see that? If you're still on, I'm not sure if you stayed in the chat or not. So Kong, I was noticing in here because I just found out that you can actually download the VODs from Twitch. I wasn't aware. I was actually, somebody said, hey, you really should start uploading stuff to YouTube. Because this way it stays long, especially if you're going to do things that are instructional, it'd be better to have them up there. They only last for max of like 60 days on Twitch. I was like, okay. So I was like, all right. So I was hitting record on Streamlabs OBS and then pushing that up after the stream ended. Of course, that's just eating up a bunch of more resources on the computer and space. And so I had always thought that this was connected because there's a setting in here on Twitch's side that allows you to connect it to Twitch. And so, connect to YouTube from Twitch. And it never did it. I was like, why does this never show up on the other side? I was like, shouldn't it be every time I go live, like it just kicks off and starts pushing it over to YouTube? But that was not the case. I never saw it show up. So what I found the other day, and I actually found this part tonight, I found out you could download the other day. But what I found out this evening was that if you click on this thing here, aside from download, you have export. And when you click that, it prompts up and says, or here, like on this one, prompts up and says, export to YouTube. And this is where I think that connector is actually at. I guess it's not auto. I guess it allows you to be connected, but although the funny thing is the description above where you do the setting to say YouTube is set up, it says that this goes and does it when you go live. So I don't know, maybe just the verbiage needs to be updated. So yeah, so this is cool. I did that on this video, and now over here, it's showing up. It's 50% processed, and that is super sweet. That makes it a lot easier. Do you stream, Kong? Out of curiosity, you didn't tell me, did you? Yeah, cool, Kong. Yeah, just let me know about the stickers. But I once streamed while I was designing. Cool. Nice. Do you do a lot of are you heavy on the UI side? I know you said front end development, but of course that can mean a lot of things nowadays, right? But about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it takes, right? I don't know if it's it like I'm getting better, but like I always get this little like anxiety before I like come on, and I don't know why. It's not like you really can screw up or anything, but it's funny how this has actually been helping like kind of get over that that feeling. So all right, so this won't be anything new, but I'm gonna go through it anyway. This is where we ended up, this simple calendar. So I'm gonna give it a try. Let's go, and this is like a little, I guess, challenge here. They say you can do it here below, but I want to do it. I'm gonna do it in CodePen. I like it better over there. So I'm gonna open up. Actually, it might be better if we did. Well, no, let's just get it open first. So CodePen, I'm sure you're familiar with CodePen. Kong, are you not? I am not that good at designing, but just designing my own projects feels great, right? I'd rather give more time on coding than designing. Yeah, right. It's such a special thing, right? Designing is like really. Listen, right? That song, Back On Again. Why does that come on? Why does that do that? I mean, aren't we like a million hours in it? It must be just on a loop. I feel like that's how you're getting 10 hours. We're just giving you a loop. What if I completely switch it to like, what if we go? By the way, is that too loud or anything, or does it sound all right? Like, I'm still figuring out that stuff too, like how loud this junk is and whatnot. Let's see here. As long as it's not blowing anybody's eardrums out. I would hope not. Yeah, designing is such. I always feel like coding, right? Coding you can learn. Like almost anybody can learn it, and you it just obviously it might be harder for some people than others, right? I mean, just like anything, but I feel like coding is something that like kind of anybody can learn to do. Where designing, ah, I mean, you can work at it. You can get a little better at it. The music volume is actually really low. Oh, really? So let's see. Let's bring it up to like. Of course, as soon as I turned it up, the music kind of dropped to this little. But yeah, designing, right? I mean, that's to me, that lies more on the, you kind of were blessed with, you know, design capability. It's like artists, right? It's kind of hard. You can't really teach somebody to be an artist. I'm not saying you can't work at it. There are, especially, you can probably become a pretty darn decent UI designer, if you work hard at it and you learn all of the, you know, methodologies, how to do it, and color theory, and you could probably make yourself. But there's people that literally just can right out of the, right off the bat, they just have a gift. You know what I mean? They just have a gift to be able to do design, and so I feel like that's such a much more difficult thing to like to expect of somebody. You know, again, coding I think is something that's like you can pretty much get anybody to learn how to code. So, right, right, Kong. It really does. I have a lot of respect for people, especially when you see like a really good design. I'm like, man, that person. Well, one, they know what the frick they're doing, and two, like, mad respect for you to come up with all that awesomeness. Like there's just people that are really good at it, and I think it's really cool. Luckily, we're getting to the place now, right, in development in the world that like that can be its own, or it is like its own job. I mean, there's plenty of people that I like, you know, correspond with Twitter and such and things like that, and that's their whole job. Like, you know, um, there's a real popular this woman Emma Wiedekind that speaks at a lot of conferences as of the last couple of years. She's gotten a lot of traction and stuff, and she just moved from Germany to Sweden, but she like all her full job is pretty much like design systems. Like that's all she does. Now, granted, she's very knowledgeable across the board because I kind of think that happens naturally anyway. But like that's a full time job. Like don't have to know how to do MongoDB. Don't have to know how to do server stuff, REST APIs, or anything. Granted, I'm sure there's no doubt that she can do all that too. But like her job is paid to like do design systems and come up with all that stuff. So it's really cool that now there's specialized areas within the web development, because it used to be, when I first started, if you were they used to call it a webmaster, if that gives you any indication, right, of how things have changed. Now you have front end developers, full stack developers, back end developers, all in between. You got, UI, UX experience engineer, or UX, sorry, that would be the same thing, right? UI, UX engineers and stuff like that. They even call them engineers a lot of times, which is an interesting thing, I found out that that means a lot more in other countries too. Like we kind of throw the engineering name or title around here in the US quite a bit, without you being actually an engineer. And I found out that in other countries, it's actually, you can like get fined. You're actually breaking the law by calling yourself an engineer if you do not have an engineering degree or an engineering certificate. I was like, wow, okay. They're making sure that you better be who you say you are. Yeah, Mohammed, I couldn't believe it. I think Canada's one of them. I think that's where I heard it. You can't just go around and say, "Yeah, you know, I'm a web engineer." As soon as you say engineer on there, they want to go, "Okay, let me show you your credentials." If you don't got them, they could come after you. Now, whether they really do or not, that's a whole nother story. But you know, I guess don't make them mad, and then you'll be okay. So, cool. So, no, we're not on that one. We're not on that. Where did I miss? There we go. I keep fumbling up this stupid thing here. All right, so I'm gonna do this example, this little active learning simple calendar. We'll see how simple it is. We'll see. How do we know? It might not be that simple. Am I even like, I know I actually have an account for this stuff. The page currently data you enter maybe. Yeah, who cares when you do all that? Let's just get rid of that. Cool. All right, so what are we doing? We're making decisions. Okay, in this example, you're going to help us finish a simple calendar application in the code you've got. Really? Did I just delete what I needed? That's okay. We'll start over. It doesn't matter. Okay, a select element to allow the user to choose between different months. An on-change event handler to detect when the value selected in the select menu is changed. And a function called create calendar that draws the calendar and displays the correct month in the H1 element. This could be interesting. So we need to write a conditional statement inside the on-change. Did they give me back the base code that I needed? Right? Yeah, okay, cool. No, we don't want to see the solution. We're just going to get the base code here and see what happens. Word. All right. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and just close that up real quick, and let's do this. An error occurred during connection. Okay, let's oh, it doesn't matter. It's all good. I don't mind. You can start me over. All fine. It's all fine. Promise you'll wait for me. How cute. Isn't that nice? Chris Coyer is actually one of the folks behind CodePen. He runs CSSTricks.com, if you're familiar with that, talking about front end. He's been around a long time. I know I've known about Chris for before he even started, when he was back in doing WordPress sites for everybody, working the Woo forms, and then moved on and started. CSS Tricks was just a side thing that he did, and then it became a full-time thing. Then he started doing his own business stuff, and then CodePen came about, and the rest is all history. He's a cool guy. All right, so let's paste that JavaScript back in here, and I'm assuming that they want us to still have the same. What was it on there? A select, a UL, and an H1. Let's see what else is in here. Create calendar, text content. Okay, console sign. Okay, we'll get it. Word. Okay. Cool. So we need a. It's funny though. It doesn't say what's in the select, right? What's in the select? Each month, right? Yeah. That's what I figured, right? So that's why they were like, "You're gonna use this, right?" We can snag it for now. Save us some typing, right? Check that in there. But we'll, instead of theme, we're gonna say, right, select, was a month. Why not? And now, this is a good question. I wonder how, are they doing this by, we'll go look, but, and then they usually do this, actually, right, it's normally like this, right, 12, 11, right, so it would be December. What I should do is do this, right? This is a good way to show people how you can right click, right? Inspect on the element. We can take a little peek here in the old inspector. And one of the cool things that you can do in here, right? Okay, so they are using the string values for the months. I wasn't sure if they were going to use numbers or if they were actually going to use the strings for it. But one of the cool things is you can say, I usually use DevTools in Chrome, so I'm not exactly sure where it's in here. Copy. I guess, is it outer? Does that should take the whole thing, right? Let's see. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. No, I'm good. I don't need Azure for free. But it's there. You can go check it out. You want to start messing around with DevOps stuff, CI/CD pipelines. You can get, AWS offers free tier accounts. So does Azure. So does Netlify and all those. GitLab actually offers free as well to go and mess around on their platform. There's a lot of cool tools out there. What's it complaining about? What is it not? Oh, okay, nothing. It's lying to me. All right, so now we have our months in there, right? We got our select and our options, and it said that we're also gonna have, right? What? Remind me later. There, Citrix receiver. We were, oh, right, a UL, right, is on there, and we know that, right, because we looked at, if we look at the JavaScript here, right, we have a select element that we're querying at, right? We're assigning that element to some const variables, right? So we have a list, which is a UL, an unordered list, and an H1, which is our header tag, correct? So we have the UL, we have the, now I don't exactly know where they have their H1. What is it here, right? Okay, so it's going to be above the elements there, right? So let's go here, right? And then H1, this bad boy. It'd be nice if they updated CodePen to do it would be cool if they updated it to do the automatic auto completion of your tags and stuff, like kind of how like Code Sandbox does. Code Sandbox is just VS Code in the browser. You can actually download your own VS Code, the actual code from GitHub, and stand it up inside of, yeah, it's cool. You can actually stand up your own browser version of VS Code. I only know that because we have some disconnected networks, and so we needed capability to do IDE coding in the browser because we couldn't install stuff on machine, like laptops either, like user client laptops and stuff like that. So VS Code in the browser available for your download at GitHub. All right, so we're gonna figure out how to make a calendar. This stuff is even hard for me because I don't remember how to do half this junk. So this is good. It'll all start to come back, I'm sure, here shortly. I mean, we could have snagged all of it, right? We could have grabbed this whole div to make it all look pretty. Because they obviously have some CSS going on with this as well. Let's see what they have on the select. Okay, not much. Let's see what's on the UL. Just out of curiosity, see if they have these. And just some, that's pretty normal stuff. This is where we're gonna need to do some styling. We'll style it up as we get further along. We'll figure it out. Doesn't it, Kong? Need some auto completion. Help us out. Maybe that's on purpose. I wonder if that's on purpose. Because you know it can do it, right? So it's like, you know that they would like add that in. I wonder if that has something to do with their mentality around like learning, because CodePen is such a learning kind of platform, you know, and stuff. As far as, I mean, I know it's not just that, but I know a lot of people that use this to just learn, and I wonder if they do that intentionally so that it forces you to like remember to close tags and how to close tags in HTML and such, right? Because they could do all the auto completion too on this too, right? They could have, you know, bracketing. Actually, I don't remember if it does that on here. Does it? Like, see now that, see, so they help you out there. So like if you're doing like, you know, brackets or curly braces, they are completing the end one as well. So in JavaScript, they are helping you out a little bit. But yeah, I thought that was interesting on the HTML side. So I'm curious if that is an intentional decision. Speaking of making decisions, we're back over at our making decisions calendars. Just kidding. All right, so what are we doing here? What are we gonna do? I don't know. They're telling us something. Right, we have, yeah, okay, so we need to write a conditional statement inside the onChange handler function just below the add conditional here comment. It should, so look at the selected month stored in the choice variable, and this will be the select element value after the value changes. So January, for example, okay, set a variable called days to be equal to the number of days in the selected month. To do this, you'll have to look up the number of days in each month of the year. You can ignore leap years for the purposes of this example. Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks, MDN. You're advised to use logical or to group multiple months together into a single condition. Many of them share the same number of days, right? Oh God, I don't even remember the days of the month either. Think about which number of days is the most common and use that as a default value. If you make a mistake, you can always reset the example with the reset button. If you get, yeah, they want you to code it down here, but that's kind of ugly, right? So, all right. So this is the challenge. See, this is interesting. Okay, so add condition here. Fine. So the first thing they said is we needed to write. They wanted us to define. What was it? So the first thing is to look at the selected month. So we know what that is from, you know what I need to do? Sorry, this is annoying, right? Let's do this. Come on, why, I always have this issue too. Why doesn't, Firefox is so hard to break the tab out. Why can't you, right? Like I've tried to do this, like in Chrome, you can just pull the tab off and it just, there it goes. Like it opens another window. I don't know why that seems so jumpy in Firefox. It's really funky. So let's see. Okay, so here's what I was doing so that we could actually just do these side by side. So bam, right? And then the other one, I went, man, that's so jumpy. I'm only using Firefox because that's their browser, right? Okay, so let's scroll this sucker over here a little bit. Cool. Okay, so here's where we want to do this, right? So they're saying, look at the selected. I can't speak, but it's all good. Okay, so And you know what's funny is for so many, for so long, I've been kind of like an, um, I do a lot of like go out, find new things, and then show how you can implement them, and then move on. Get something up and running and move on. And so when it comes to things like this, right? And this is where it's weird. Like I can build you out full blown apps, full stack, do the databasing, all that stuff. Um, but I don't feel like I'm that great a coder because these are the kinds of things that are like really the whole like in the logic and the and everything and thinking about how to solve these problems. Like I'm good at integrations, I guess if you want to say. You know, being able to get things working, but like actually writing code to do specific things, like I actually have more trouble with this part, which is interesting because this is like what coders do. But it's funny how how what you do in your job, how it drives you, like, and how you what you wind up doing. Like again, I would say I built a bunch of apps before, but I also don't feel like I'm really great at coding. Does that make sense? I don't even know how to like make that make sense. Um, but it's just a reality. It really is. So this will be fun because I'm like, how would I even go about this? So let's see. That's why I'm doing this. I need to stay on, need to stay sharper. So, so look at the selected month, which is choice, right? This holds our value. This is a built-in JavaScript method that gets the value off of this element, this form element that we defined as select. Just so happens it is a select HTML element in our document object model, the DOM, otherwise, you know, the HTML page you're on. And so says this will be the select. Yep, we know that. Set a variable called days to be equal. Now, where do they want you to do that? I guess in here, right? So const days, although, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, that's fine because this is not going to change. So const days, and it says to be equal to the number of days in the selected month. So most day, isn't it 30 for most? Is the most common, right? I'm so bad. We'll have to look that up. They said, right? So days in the month. I don't know. There's like a whole breakdown of this somewhere on Wikipedia or something stupid like that. 12 months of the year, time and date. How to remember how many days are in a month. There you go. Maybe that'll help us out. Memorize. See, nobody never memorizes this stuff. Okay, so 30 days has September, April, June, and November. When short February is done, all the rest have 31. Oh, these are little 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. So, well, okay, hold on. Can I look at this? Is there just a big... Oh, here's how you can memorize. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 have... That's so funny. These are like little tricks to teach you how to remember. That's interesting. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Well, and you all are from other countries. Is there a difference, right? The calendars are different in countries. Is that not true? Like, I know my son was telling me the other day, he's like, you know, if we technically went by like the Mayan calendar, we're actually only in like 2012 right now. Because when they came in with the, was it Gregorian calendar and stuff like that, they added in all the other like leap year and all that junk and stuff, and so just interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Our calendar is different. Mohammed, right? You're in Saudi Arabia, right? Is that correct? I think. So what? Yeah. See, that's what I find, that's so fascinating, that like we're all living on the same planet, right? But we all have different things with months, and you know, that was one thing I always thought about coding. Like, right? I'm like, does everybody code in English? Because like I was like so confused on like, is that, and I didn't want to sound ignorant or insulting to anybody, because that's not who I'm about. But I was just like, wait, does it, well, because they say that the universal language of the world is English, right? So and most of what I heard is that it kind of is, like most people do. Although you will, I guess, some people do write, their function names however they want, right? But function would still look like this because that's what the language specification is, right, for a function. But things like create calendar, that you can name that whatever you want. So in Japanese you could write whatever you want for that, or in Spanish you could write whatever you want for that, right? So I guess that's what other developers do outside of, but I don't know. Those are just those interesting questions, right? That I think are really kind of neat. 1, 2, 3, right? So there's 3 there. We have 7, and this has 5. Okay, so the majority is 31, right? Is what they're saying, and then the rest are, well, now we have 30, and then only one month has 28 days. February. So then, how would you? So then how would we make this decision? Right, so set a variable called days to be equal to the number of days in the selected month. So to do this, you'll have to look up the number of days in each month of the year, right? You can ignore leap years for the purpose of the example. Okay, but I don't understand how. Okay, so yeah, it's then make whatever one has the most the default value. So we figured out 31 days is the one that repeats the most, right? Because we have 7 months that are 31, we have 4 months that are 30, and 1 month that's 28. So how do they want you to I'm confused on this one. So this is going to be days. Oh, okay. I think I know. Okay. I think I know what I would do here. So, okay, let's go to the next thing. And we'll talk about it. I need to get, I think you need to do it inside of here. We're going to have to write like an if statement, right? Oh, wait, add conditional here. Oh, right, because they're doing the call here. Okay, cool. All right, I think I got this. So they want us to make this decision, right? So to do the or, right? So here they're saying let's do if, right, days is equal if days is equal to 31. Let's see, that's, oh, right, because you're gonna have to do if days, how, because the choice is like January, December, right? So then the if days like is equal to 31 and choice is equal to, are we gonna have to write it out that long? Like I'm interested. See, this is where normally, okay, so this is where normally I would just go off and find the solution, because I'm just about getting the shit integrated. I don't care how to like understand what I needed to do. Like, it's weird how you can understand how to integrate things together and get them to work really well by just finding the pieces of code that you need and using documentation and stuff to figure it out. But like here, where I actually have to try to like think about, well, how would I implement this? Like, this is normally where I would never do this. So this is fun for me actually, because I'm kind of challenged right now. I'm a little stumped. I don't really know exactly how I want to do this. So I'm thinking, right, because you're basically saying like, if the days is 31, I'm thinking of it being like if the days is equal to 31 and the choice is January, right? Like what are the months, right? And January, or days, because you have to do it repeatedly, right? So you have to keep saying, you can't just say, which we thought would be a good add to the specification of JavaScript, right? Which was to do, so if days is equal to 31 and, oh wait, oh wait a second, no, hold on. So let's do this. If days is equal to 31, um, man, I keep thinking like I know what I want to do, and then I keep screwing up like in my mind like what exactly it is that I really do want. Oh, you can't do that. I'm so used to VS Code being able to move these up without having to cut and paste. Because I'm like, if it's 31, if its days is equal to 31, then it's going to be either this month, this month, this month, right? So I need to do something where it says, like, if the days is 31, and like, and I'm such a bad logical thinker right now. This is really screwing me up. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, because basically what they're saying is, right, how many blocks are you going to pump out, right? Are you going to do 31 blocks, 30, or 28, right? So you basically say if you choose January, it's 31. If you choose March, it's 31. May, it's 31. So if you choose any of those, it's 31, right? So how do I say that in code? If so, maybe I don't test on this. What if I said if the choice, maybe that's what I need to do. If choice equal to January. Now this is where it could get kind of hairy, right? Or, and I'm just gonna do this for a second, just for time. I mean, you can write as many of these as you want in here. I just think it looks sloppy, but you could do, right? If the choice is equal to January, or the choice is equal to, let's see, we're just running down the list here. January, right? Hate that I have to go back and forth like that. So March. Because I'm like, basically, this will fall into this, right? And then I know that January, March, May, July, August, October, December are 31 days, right? So then, in all honesty, I know they're telling me to do it this way, but this makes more sense to me to say, and I'll look at the solution at the end to say that I did it so wrong, but that's okay. Because I could just do this, right? And say, or, oh, well, actually, this is where it would be easier to do the other way, right? Because then you could say, I keep thinking of, so actually they're saying to do it like pick, they said do the thing with the longest numbers, but why wouldn't I go if the choice is equal to February, then honestly I can just do this, right, and say the number of days is 28, and there's my choice, right? So there's not, and then here you say else if I could type, that would help too. Else if the next one down would be choice is equal to let's go, right, April. I'm gonna go like this here. I'm gonna copy that. Or choice is equal to, oh, too far. Choice is equal to, where we got, I said April, June, or April, June, what are we at, September. I mean, this is kind of getting a little ugly, but let's just see if we can get it to work, and then we'll worry about cleaning it up, right? That's what they always say. Don't worry about making it pretty, just make it work. We can refactor later. And people are already popping off fireworks already today. All right, so let's see. So we got that choice September, or choice is equal to November, right? November. And in a November rain. Was that using Axl Rose? Back in the day. Actually a pretty good song. So else if choice is equal to April, or choice is equal to June, or choice is equal to September, or choice is equal to November, then, right? Then we can do this and say, this is actually a good spot. See, they're doing conditional. This wouldn't have been a bad spot to do a switch statement. That's what we learned, right? When you have a lot of values, like strings that you're testing on, that this would be cleaner to probably go like this and say switch, and we're switching on the choice, right? So we're saying the case is, I always do this backwards, right? Isn't it? Case February, right? And then here, like this, and we say 31, right? Oh no, sorry, that one is 28. Okay. So then all right, and then you break out of this by doing that, right? And then if you're ready to do the next one, you say case here, and we do, and this is where we can say April, right? And then we can do the count on it here again. And now this one, now, I don't know, maybe this, I don't know, maybe it's not as, maybe this is not the best way to do this, but here's two options, right? Why not? Let's explore both, right? Can't be so bad. It might not be so bad. We'll figure it out. What's the worst thing that happened? It not work? We got the solution over there. They're gonna give it to us. They're gonna tell us, but let's break it first, right? Case A, whatever. That's at April. Let's go June, right? Bam. Do this. That, the wiffle ball bat. So I got the dance, you got. Come on, everybody, let's get brass monkey. Sorry. But yeah, we can just continue down this like this, right? And this will work. I say it'll work. Who knows if it'll work? We'll see. Oh, hey, why did you do that on me there, Mister? I'm like, can I see the indentations? Luckily, this is in Python where you have to worry about your tabs. You know what I mean? YAML files too, man. You know, I've been working on the back-end DevOps stuff, and you know, you config pretty much everything with containers and GitLab and OpenShift, all these DevOps CI/CD products and tools. Primarily, I'll use YAML on the back, and it is picky too about its formatting. You better stick it into a YAML formatter before you put it up there, because you'll beat your head on, why is this not working? Because your freaking tab is off in that stupid YAML file. To the code gods. Who came up with this YAML stuff anyway? What's wrong with them? Couldn't they have helped us out just a smidge? Gotta be a reason. Gotta be a reason. There probably is one. Probably a reason. Some reason. I don't know what it is. We'll look it up one day. September, I think it is. Right? September. Cool. So we got that. And we're gonna go ahead and do this right here. Okay. Let's go ahead and put that in there, kids. Okay. All right. We said, I mean, this is kind of actually, maybe this isn't, I was thinking this would be better, and maybe it is from a standpoint of like performance and stuff, but this is still not actually too bad to do it like that, right? So I was just showing another way. We can finish typing it out, but I may wind up just, why is it doing that? I may wind up, quitting on this because I'm seeing that this is adding a lot more of having to call the thing much more times. But let's do this real quick, just so I don't lose the, not that it's a big deal. Where is my, sometimes I can't remember where my keys are on this stupid one. And then let's do it here. This would be a block comment in JavaScript. Boom. Okay. Let's go back up here. We were on November, right? Is that all of them? Those are 30 days, right? So choice, April, June, September, November. Okay, that one's 30. And then the last one would be else if, not of, if. The choice is equal to, because these are all the 31s now, right? So now it's January. Here, let me go ahead and copy some of this. Okay, January, March, or you love. Okay, there, January, May. Not May. That's not the one again. All right, and July, right? We'll do this one like this. Okay. I'm curious to see how they do it, honestly, because I'm sure it'll be much cleaner than this, but that's okay. We're learning. We're learning. Okay, August, or so many. Well, 12 months. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I don't know, but I'm gonna keep typing this syntactical magic in my screen, make everything look sicky and clean. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. Gonna flow, gonna get a code, hustle on. Don't you know? It's the way I go. My head keeps swimming, doing everything from the beginning. On the basics of JavaScript, you see, we're gonna learn things that you can't believe. Oh, that was fun. Sometimes you just gotta have a good time, make up your own stuff. I make myself laugh all by myself. I don't need any help. You can't entertain yourself, right? Come on. Where am I at? I can type really slow. I can help you with that. So let's see, August, and we are on October. We're gonna get there. I can't wait to see how easy they did it, and I'm gonna go, oh my god, that makes so much sense. That's okay. That'll teach me to remember it properly. And the last one is December, right? That should be all of them, right? I believe. So then we can then grab this here. Let's see, copy, paste, 31, right? Okay. Buy that for $1. All right. I guess this is the default, right? That's what comes up right off the bat. So actually, let me just pull this out of here because it's kind of like taking up some space. We can't see very well. Okay, so now we have a conditional that says, right, let's kind of read through this. So when it changes, right? So when this actually event fires the change to a different select value, we're saying if the choice is equal to February, then call the create calendar method, pass it 28 for its days. Are you giving me the answers? I'm not going to look. I'm not going to look. I'll look over in a minute. I don't want to. I want to see if I can find the answer on my own. Okay. I'm not gonna look over there and Kong, and then I'll look over and we'll try yours after. I want to see if this one's gonna work, right? So we're saying now I gotta be careful not to look up at your thing. Then I go like this and go. All right, so we're basically saying, boom, we got a choice. We know what the value is, right? So if the choice is equal to February, boom, call the create calendar, give it 28 days, pass the choice in there, which is going to be, in that case, February, right? Else, if the choice is equal to April, or the choice is equal to June, or the choice is equal to September, or the choice is equal to November, then call create calendar again. The days is going to be 30, and then the choice will still be one of those values that was selected, which that sounds good still. And then the last is the else if, and this is the remainder of all the months, which we, I'm not going to read each one of those. So, okay, so that, and then we pass the create calendar, or we'll call the create calendar. We pass the two parameters, the number 31 and choice. That sounds like that's okay. This is exactly like what we see down here. They're just giving it the default, right? And that's the way to populate the calendar on the first page load, right? Because if you didn't have this here, you would not see, and here's an example here, you would not see any of this. This would not exist because it wouldn't have been called yet, right? So the way that you populate off the bat is you go ahead and call the function that creates that on page load and go ahead and just pass it in some default values to give it its state, initial state here, right? So then once that's been established, then all the events to change this are based on, right, the select event and listening for that on change on here, right? And so once that happens, then we are calling the create calendar on each on change event, and we're passing it days and choice, which we've already done up here. So then, I mean, that looks pretty. Was that the total thing that makes a lot of sense, right? Is that all they wanted us to do? Think about which number of days is the most. Okay, yeah. If you make a mistake, I mean, it sounds like it. That was the only things that we had to do. Now, granted, I didn't do it the way they did it, so I'm interested to see how they do it. But, okay. So what do we even have down here? Because I don't have any styling, right? So all I have is 31 days. So what should happen here technically is this list of numbers, right, should change. So right now it's 31 because we were in January. Oh, is it doing a change on the H1? Okay, well, you know what? That's what we should do too, just real quick. The function calendar, create calendar, takes days and choice. It has a, we have a variable that is holding the UL element for us, right? And so we have that reference to that UL unordered list HTML tag. And then we're using the built-in browser API for messing with the DOM, right? With our object models and inner HTML, and we're blanking it, right? So we're just saying, don't put anything in there. And in the H1, we have a variable set for our H1 tag, right? And then the text content, another one of our built-in browser APIs, to mess with the text content of an element, right? We're passing in this, which is this value here, right? The choice we've made. So then they're doing a loop, a for loop. So we assign a value to our I. It's very common to see an I inside of a loop, and it usually is going to, you know, stand. I think as far as if I remember correctly, it's basically saying index or indices or whatever. Or you can think about it as iterator. I don't know, whatever works for you. But this is very common convention. So you'll see let I equal to 1. In this case, yeah, they're starting at 1 because that's the, days or months are 1 through 12, right? So then they're saying I less than or equal to the number of days that we've passed into this function. Continue to add to it, right? And then, so it's looping out basically, right? The days based on what's passed in. So then we're creating a new variable, list item, which is basically creating an element inside of, if we saw, right, the HTML here, we have a UL, but we don't have any LIs, which is the list item inside of it, right? So that's just blank. And so what it's doing, and you can see it's already doing it here. So we are able to create elements within inside of our HTML page. And then we are taking that list item, and inside the text content, we are actually outputting we're iterating out the number values for the amount of days. And with that, we take that list and we append it. There's another browser API method for us to add all that, all those list items that we have, and we're appending that to it, right? Or it's appending all the list items. Sorry, it's appending all the LIs to each and every one, right, to the list. So yeah, sweet, cool. So just a simple loop, basically. That was a long-winded way to say all that, wasn't it? Sometimes I just got to say it out loud to myself, so I know what the heck. So let's see what happens here. So technically, this should, if we went to, say, what was a month that was like April, 30 days. What? All right. October, 31 days. Nice. Sweetness. What was the 1 month? Was it May? What was the 1 month that has 28? February. February. Let's see. February. Come here. Where you at, February? How you doing there? 28. Bam. That's working. We got it. All right. Let's make it look pretty real quick. Do we want to? Or do we care? We can just. I'm not even gonna cheat. Let's see what I remember. I haven't done CSS in so long. So let's say the unordered list. Let's do. What is it? List. This is hard too, right? Because there's no hinting. List style. Is this what it is again? I don't remember. Yes. Okay. List style none. That's right. And then that's interesting how I bet you that's cool. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I go any further, Kong, let's see. How did you do it? Oh, will it not let me highlight? Okay, no. I was like, will it not let me highlight your code? I want to snag Kong's code here. I want to see what his does. Come here. All right, so this is in here. I'm just gonna, let me lower this a little bit. Here, okay. Because that was mine. Here, I'm just gonna do yours above so I can have a separation there. So you have let days. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So yours is, I like this. You got an array going. So let days, not assigning a value, right? So you're just creating the variable and then saying let 30 days equal September, April, June, November. Okay. And then if 30 days includes, oh, look at you using fancy methods. Ethan J. Hill in the house. How's it going? Welcome. We are knocking out some little, what was this one called here? A simple calendar, right? Just we're in the basics of JavaScript. And so we are testing out, or we are going through how to do a change event on this list and how it swaps out our calendar here. Or of course, this one doesn't work because this is the demo one that doesn't have the full code. And so, good, Ethan. It's going pretty good. I can't complain. We're having a good night so far. How about yourself? Oh, you said doing well. Yeah. Where are you coming from? If you don't mind asking, we have Kong from Asia. We got Muhammad from Saudi Arabia in right now, and we're all just chilling. And yeah. And what you got going on? You know, what you got going on in your world? Yeah. Developer, front-end developer, you know, just hanging out. Cool. So anyway, this is Kong's code. Like we tried mine, which is this really long-winded way. We didn't look at the solution. I just tried to guess how to do it the best way. And then this is Kong's way, which is much nicer, I must say. But we're gonna test his out and see if his works. Sounds pretty awesome, man. Working on a Vue to do app connected to Firestore. Nice. The UK and studying software engineer. Sweet. Vue is awesome. I mean, I don't really hate on any of, unless it's just really, really garbage or something. But I mean, obviously Vue is not. There is a great dude. I said, oh yeah, okay. I didn't make that mistake. So let's go YouTube real quick here. I gotta show you if you didn't already know. Man, that's slow. Why is that running so slow? I'm like on a gig. What is wrong with these? Honeypot.io. Oh, Ethan, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. Muhammad, we're gonna make affiliate. We're gonna make the live coders team. We're on the push. I want a jersey. Honeypot.io has awesome documentaries, Ethan. Check out this one on Vue.js, just for you, sir. 34 minutes and 45 seconds of all Vue awesomeness. We will not watch it together right now. We could, but you know, I've watched it already. I'll let you do that on your own time. Sweet. This is the documentary behind Vue. It's really interesting. Super. I just love shit like that. I love finding out like how they came about, and this literally talks about, it's from, you know, the guy that developed it and everything and all that. So there's a bunch of other really good documentaries in there too. Ember, Elixir, GraphQL, and they also have a bunch of mini documentaries for developers, like a day with a SoundCloud developer, journey into the software development with Leah Veru. Oh, she's a badass CSS. I'll tell you what, whatever. I don't even know what hold position she holds now. It says software development. I just remember her extensively from her CSS talks. But yeah, they get into some cool advice from developers, mini docs. They have all different people working from different places, giving you some just a cool, really cool stuff they're doing. Also, if you're into Vue and you really like to support, let's see if I can find this real quick. The Vue Vixens. I like to show my support out there to, whoever I can. This is their front-end foxes are people who identify as women and who want to learn front-end technology to make websites and mobile apps. So they run workshops and all kinds of things to get more women or people who identify as women into Vue and into front-end development. And I think what they're doing is awesome. So just a little shout out there. All right, so the UK, huh? I lived in England for 3 years. I don't know if that's where you're at specifically, right? But I lived about 20 minutes outside of Cambridge in a small town called St. Ives, not to be confused with the St. Ives that's way down on the coast, but the one that's outside of where Cambridge University is at. Nice. I lived in Cambridgeshire, or is it Cambridgeshire? My accent sucks. I don't have a good English accent. As much as I'd like to, I can't talk very well, I'll fake it though, just for fun. You can just call me silly American, because I am. I'm silly as shit. But it was a blast. Worked there for 3 years as a software developer. That's when I was actually doing a lot more front end stuff then. And that was from like 2007 to 2011. Did that, and my wife and 3 kids went with me. My children went to British schools, which was phenomenal. I have nothing but the nicest things to say about a lot of the things that are in place in England. And education was one of them. I really appreciated the way that it was not like here in the United States where it's teach for the test type of a style, which completely doesn't help you learn how to critically think or learn anything, in my opinion. Memorizing crap for a test is just a bunch of BS. So I really appreciated at least the school they went to. It was really more about teaching, and granted they have evaluation, as you well know. I mean, there's tests and stuff, but I just really thought it was such a better approach to instruction, was to like, here, figure this out, like give them the tools they need and then let them critically think on how to, or go through logic or whatever to come up with how the answer to something, instead of, here, go memorize these, go study this book. That, it just seemed to, and teachers it was just a different kind of rapport, like student to teacher. It was not this, I don't know. They loved it. Let's just put it that way. My oldest son, we came back, he was supposed to be starting his freshman year, which is 9th grade, which is your high school, right? So he was supposed to be starting that when we came back, is according to his age, because he was like 14. And he when we came back and gave his transcripts and stuff into the school and everything, they wanted to start him as a junior, 11th grade. So basically, like, 2 years to graduate instead of one. So we were like, wow. And they're like, yeah, everything he's got here from England is way more advanced than what we're at, or where they're at in the curriculum inside the US schools. And so we were like, okay, well, all right, we don't want to advance them too far, which, that's kind of a parent decision, and as well as like teachers hopefully helping you out. But we were just a little concerned about him being like 14 and pushing him so so far into or pushing him up several grades, just because of like social issues, you know what I mean? So we started him as a sophomore instead of a junior. So in his 10th grade year, as we would say here in the US. And so we still skipped him up a grade, and he still ended up graduating high school at 17. And so yeah, it was. But all our children just absolutely loved going to school in England. They really have nothing but the utmost regard for everything, and they still have friends there, and so it's great. They're all old now. I mean, my youngest is 16. My other two are 23 and 21, and they're off in the world doing their own things and stuff. So, but yeah, it was one of the best decisions we ever made, was doing that and going and working there for a few years. It was cool. Um, okay, so wow, we went off there for a little while, didn't we, Ethan? We had a whole little thing going on. Yeah, in honesty, in the beginning, um, they caught a little bit of flack, and I'm sure you kind of understand, Ethan, because you grew up there. You know, there is that whole ugly American kind of a thing and whatever, but we raise our children to be open and accepting and non-discriminatory towards anybody, no matter what you are, what you believe in, who you say, just take people for you're a good person, then I'm gonna treat you right. You treat me right, I'll treat you right, and we can be friends, And so they dealt with a little bit of kind of the discrimination because they were Americans, but that did not last long. It really was pretty quick that they you know the kids there realize, hey, they're not that much different. They're cool. Like there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with them. But it's like anything, right? When something that you're not, you know, that you never experienced before, or it doesn't make that was the first Americans that a lot of those kids ever met before, and all they've ever heard is, you know, their dad or somebody or whatever, and these fucking bloody Americans fucking doing this shit, and fucking bastards. So, you know. But honestly, even myself, like I had other friends or people, I shouldn't say friends. I had other people that I knew there that were Americans when I was there, and they had issues. Like they'd be out at pubs and stuff, and like and I'm like, that's because you're acting like an asshole. You want to go into somebody else's establishment and kind of bow up like you're an American and I'm here, whatever. You're fuck you. You don't, you don't deserve their respect then. But I never myself, my wife, we had nothing but great. Never had any issues. Never had. We'd go out to the pubs all the time, mix and mingle, do quiz nights, all that stuff. It was dress up, go out and do, when they do. That was one of the coolest things. Everybody loves to go out and do dress up and not on Halloween, just go to the pub and they have like costume nights and stuff. It was just a lot of fun, man. We love the fact that you just like that we lived in that town, which was what do they call it? A market. We lived in a market town, so they had a high street with several pubs, and we even had a nightclub in that town, and then it was great. You just walk up to the high street, right, and go get groceries if you want, walk home, like a lot of walking and stuff like that. That was just I wish we could adopt a lot of that stuff here in the US. I think it was, I don't know, it just makes for a community. You start to know your people that live around, you see them, so we did, Ethan. It really, we wish we even have said, we're like, man, we probably should have stayed for a couple more years, to really just take it all in and get do a solid 5 years there. But 3.5 was definitely enough to at least really get a great experience. And so definitely one of the things, highlights of not only career wise, but just in life in general. So to be discriminated from anything, especially if it's due to being American. Yeah. Right. We don't discriminate on anything. That's in our household, and the way we teach our kids and stuff. That's how we are. Just like hiring, right? We don't discriminate on age, sex, gender, all that. I should have a disclaimer at the bottom, right? I can see Americans get discriminated against more than any other nation. I still don't know why. because we walk around like we're Billy Badass and think we're the best in the world, and we're not. It's just the reality. Not saying we're not good or we're not, don't do good things, but you don't have to be cocky about it, you know. And so that's where I think, unfortunately, a lot of Americans get, and it's not really true per se for. Man, we're dropping a bunch of frames here. A lot of people have been talking about the quality lately of how Twitch has been. Like even today, I was on somebody's stream, and he was like seeing all this latency issues and dropped frames from his metrics here from Twitch, and but the stream was fine. Like it was just coming. He's like, yeah, everybody's been saying they're seeing this weird, you know, analytics coming across about how their networking's going on while they're streaming. But like right now, are any of you having any like droppage or hangups, or is it buffering or anything like that? Because I'm getting like these little indicators here that said like turning yellow and stuff. I don't know. I didn't choose it. Is it seems to come out okay, right? Like I've looked back um at the VODs and stuff, and they seem to be pretty clear and stuff. So I didn't even select. So Ethan, the resolution on that, like, I don't know. It's Streamlabs OBS. I downloaded it and just started running it, and I didn't make any changes to the settings for video or streaming or anything. So. Which would be what? Is it 1024 or what is it? Or 1080? Right, 1080p. Sorry, I'm thinking of resolution like a screen instead of, yeah, right, 1080p by 60 or 720, right? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm assuming Streamlabs defaults to that, I guess, because I didn't make any changes to it. So, but again, I don't know. I looked at the videos; they still look pretty like crystal clear and stuff after I went back and looked at them. So, um, well, and that's actually recording. So, well, that'd still be the same, right? Because it's still the source. So, I don't have. I've actually just started streaming, so I'm still kind of new to all this, Ethan, and so I haven't even. In fact, I was gonna say, do you stream? I have to follow you. I usually after the channel, I'll go back in and see who followed, and then I go back and follow them. Sometimes it's hard, but no, I don't have a Discord. Or actually, you know what? I think I set one up like over a year ago, because I tried to get on and do Twitch streaming, and I just like my anxiety kind of got to me, and I just kind of never started doing it. And then I just kind of broke down and said, you just need to do it, man, and just don't be afraid and get on there and just who cares, like don't worry about it. And but now I've been on more of a roll, and I've been doing pretty good, staying consistent with it, and so that helps. That's part of, I think, what makes it easier. When you do it over and over, right, it just becomes more the norm and not so scary. But yeah, maybe I need to start, because I know a lot of people use Discord, right, for after hour. They drop things in there. People talk about projects if you're working on them, and I'm not a streamer personally. I'm just interested in seeing other communities in the coding view. Dude, if that's the case, you probably maybe already know about it. Well, one, you can go to this website, and then two, you can just go to it. But are you familiar with the live coders? Twitch has a team of live coders, not Twitch's thing. Actually, it was started by a user, C# Fritz. So C# Fritz started a team called the Live Coders, and he works for Microsoft, but he does pretty much a lot of everything is all on Twitch and live coding and things like that. He does a bunch of stuff. Yeah, he started up this live coders team, and you basically you have to make affiliate in Twitch first. You have to be obviously coding stuff and technology. It doesn't have to be all coding. has to kind of revolve around coding and things like that. But it could be Raspberry Pi junk, it could be hardware coding, it can be mechanical keyboards and stuff or whatever, mainly coding stuff, right? And so once you make affiliate, you can apply to the Live Coders team, and then they go and kind of check you out. They make sure that your platforms like Twitter and stuff, that you're a decent person, because they have some standards on the kind of people that they want. They want open, accepting, diverse people that are just want to code and help people code and build the community. But if you make the team, after they do that, if you make the team, you get a badass jersey with a handle on the back. They send it to you. So I'd have Code Hustle on the back. You'd have Ethan J. Hill. You can pick your own number, and they send you out that, and then you're part of the team. And then you start getting involved in events. They do they just did a huge Live Coders conference recently, where they raised over over $15,000 for Black Girls Code to support Black Lives Matter. And I want to be a part of that. Where do I sign up? So that's why I want to try to make the team. Not only because I've known a lot of those folks for a while, as far as on stream and everything, and there's a really great group of people there at all levels. Not everybody's. There's no it's from beginners to experts. Just as long as you're coding and you make affiliate, then you can be on the team, as long as you apply and they say you're code worthy. That's a group I'd like to be a part of. They're all about helping other people get into coding and breaking down barriers. So I'm all about it. Wow, that's what happens on these things, right? You get off on tangents of talking about stuff, and then which is so livecoders.dev, they're cool. Data2 Attitude, what's up? Haven't seen you in a little while. Hope you're doing well. They're really awesome, and when I get to streaming, I would definitely join them. Right, Mohammed? Yeah, we're on our road. I was pretty close. I think tonight, again, I kind of don't check it out too often, because I didn't really want to jinx myself, I guess. I don't know. But last time I looked, I had like 44 followers. You got to make 50 to get, at least that's the minimum to make affiliate. And of course, you got to have all the other numbers for number of days streamed and hours and all that junk. So once I make that, then I can continue on, and then I can try to apply. But site is up and CI/CD'd. Word. Now just adding features. All right. I'm waiting for a link. We're gonna have to get a link on there. Now you're 46. Sweet. All right, 4 away. I just need 4 followers and we can get there. Oh my goodness. It just is. It's amazing how. Well, one, I think the big thing is like the longer you stream, hours wise, in one session, I noticed that your viewership goes up big time. Like I typically do like 2.5 hours, or 3 hours maybe max, and then I drop off, because unfortunately by the time that gets it's like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and then I have to go to work in the morning, so can't do. But I've other streamers that I've followed that started out right almost the same thing as I did, but were streaming like 5+ hours per day. They made like affiliate in a couple weeks, like a few weeks, and they had followers. Like, it was amazing. It just shows you the difference, like hundreds of followers, like right. It's just funny how that works. It's a 24-hour code challenge. Right? If only I could. Maybe. We'll see. We'll have to work that out. Way more likely to get rated if you do long sessions too. Right. And that's, I've noticed that. So when I had done, when last year I tried doing, Jacob, thank you so much for the follow. As we're talking about followers, we got followers. Did Cody say something? That thing never seems to work. my little bot in the corner there. They're supposed to be like, thanks for the follow. You know, I don't know if he said anything. Sometimes I miss it. But Jacob, thanks so much. Welcome, and thanks for chilling out. We were at the point of we're trying to do this calendar, which we successfully did it. We're doing basic JavaScript, so we were doing this how to handle change event, right, to change the calendar the number of days. I did it a really sloppy, ugly way, like this, but still functional. It did work. It does work. But then Kong, he suggested this method or this route, and now I never tried it, but we're gonna test it out. I want to see if his works too. So let's just do this, right? We can let's do this, and oh, that's not it. So we block commented out our right, and here, let's see, that already did save, didn't it? Yeah, okay, so we still have 31 days. Of course, ours that we were just about to add some nicety to it, make it look pretty, but we were just seeing about, we want to get the functionality going. So we did it the one way with all the crazy if and or statements, right, to get it out, which is very long-winded and not the most optimized code. And now we're looking at the way that Kong did it, which basically he declares a days variable, and then also declares a 30 days variable, which is an array of the 4 months that are equal to 30 days. And so he's saying if the 30 days includes the choice that we selected, so it's going to look inside of this array and say, did you choose September? Or does it include September? Does it include April? Does it include June? Does it include November? If it does, then the days are equal to 30. Else, if the choice is equal to February, right, then the days is equal to 28. And then just the default fall through, if it's nothing else, is 31, right, which is the largest number and the most amount of months, right? Or that's, yeah, did I say that right? That sounded weird. Here was our cheat sheet right here. So this is right. This is a good way to figure out how to do this too, right? So January, March, May, July, right? December, October. So these are all the days with 31, right? So it's the max or the most months, right? So that's basically the fall through here, the default. So he's doing it this way, which is much cleaner. I like it much better. And now let's test it out, right? If we hit February, that should be 28. Oh, wait, what happened? Why did that not work? We could figure it out. June. Oh, these aren't even swapping. All right. So what's the problem? Did I not? I probably didn't do something in here, right? So, oh, wait, we have to call the function. We're not calling the function. So, all right, so you gave me the logic for the conditionals and stuff, right? But then after each one of these days, right, if it equals that, then we need to then call the function, right? Oh, wait, hang on now. Where are you jumping all over the place, silly? What are you doing? What is this thing doing to me, huh? Freaking guy over here, freaking create calendar, trying to mess me up, jumping all over the screen. You better watch out there, fella. I got a Louisville Slugger with your name on it, huh? Sorry, it's my cheesy accent. Although I did grow up in New York, so I guess I can fake it a little bit. I forgot to call the create calendar function. That's okay. We're here to help each other out, right? And actually, I don't have to pass in, right? We do this, right? Then we can just, right? Although, yeah, no, that should still be right? And then this one, is that gonna work? 1. Right? Boom, February 28. What? How come you don't use a local environment. I do. I jump around. These were just like simple ones. So, but like I did this one. This was a like a simple little. This is part of those. This whole thing that we did here too. And this is really just directly from the file system, but this was just showing how to do like click events and how you can swap elements. This was part of the earlier like basics of JavaScript stuff that we were doing. So yeah, I jump around. Sometimes I do it in VS Code, sometimes I do it in CodePen, sometimes I do it directly in the console. We did that too, like when we were going through showing how to declare variables and math functions that are part of the browser API. I did a lot of stuff in the console because I'm like, I think that's helpful too, because then people can see, oh, well, you can do stuff here, you can do stuff here, you can do stuff there, you know, and it just kind of allows people to have, or at least exposes people to the multitude of options that you have, right, to be able to develop or even just practice or test. You know, like the console is a great way if like, man, I just need to check something out real quick. Boom, pop that open, hit a couple things, good to go, got it, move on. Obviously, as you get more and more complex, you know, and you're doing CodePen greater than VS Code. But yeah, so there's that one. Are you familiar with like the other in-browser? It's like, so if you really want to get like fancy schmancy and build full-blown stack applications and stuff, Code Sandbox is actually just VS Code in the browser. And not only that, it'll link up to your GitHub account. And so you can literally push. So you can actually build a like CI/CD pipeline if you're familiar with. You see my link, right? I'm sorry. Data to attitude. I did say, let me but give me 1 second, and then I'm just so yeah, Code Sandbox, like you can do stuff like this and just boom, hit like React. Oh, I should have chose Vue. You said you were doing Vue, right? Forget that. Let's go back. Vue, right? Boom, here we go. Let's build a Vue sandbox. So this is cool. This is set up. It'll build you a straight, quick Vue template. Let's see. Come on, keep going. Tell me, show me what you got going on, baby. Running slow right now. Running slow. Surprising. I got a gig line in this house, so. Oh, there we go. Maybe it's not me. So here you go. It builds it out, right? Gives you the structure for the Vue application, right? And then all the code. This is still loading up because that doesn't have the coloring yet. Yeah, this will all change color. It's running super slow. But in here, you can actually connect these up to. Have you ever seen Code Sandbox before, Ethan? There's a lot of different ones out there. That's one. Stack Blitz is another one that's really good. I wonder if is it that or this, because I'm like, why is that so shitty? But so here you go. Here's another one. Start a new workspace, right? Any of these? Ionic, Angular, React. I'm pretty sure they have Vue and stuff here as well. But yeah, so boom, you just want to spin up a new Angular application or TypeScript or React. You can just hit that and it creates it for you. And there you go. Boom. Now you got this, right? You can connect it up to your, this has Firebase built in. Didn't you say you were doing, who was doing Firebase? Yeah, I thought it was you, right? You with Firebase? Or you said Firestore. But yeah, so look, boom, React application. The Code Sandbox one that I'm very aware of though is like you can link this up to your GitHub account, right? So once you do that, it'll push this into your GitHub account. And then if you really want to get crazy, you can do deployment. And you sign in with your GitHub. What this will either Netlify or Versal, which is used to be now web hosting for free, will allow you and give you a unique URL for your application. Or if you'd like to actually set up a domain name that you have, you can actually register that with them as well for free, and they'll give you a free SSL cert for it as well. And Netlify will host your website, and so you can actually, every time you do a code push to GitHub, it'll auto push that code and build out to Netlify, and there's your app running in the browser. And so really, really cool. And that is leveraging, you know, the ability to do like that, as they say, CI/CD, the continuous integration, continuous deployment of applications. So it's really, really cool. So yeah, there's a few of them. Code Sandbox, StackBlitz is a good one. There's another one I used to remember. I can't remember right now, but so yeah. So there's all these other places. Yeah, I think the thing that's different, that's why I use CodePen for doing these kind of fun little quick CSS, JavaScript, HTML things, not full blown. Granted, you can go in here like this and say, I would like to get, I want to do React, right? And you can say, okay, let me get React in there, add that as a dependency. I want to use the React router. Is that blue? What does it say? Blue Icy? Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Appreciate you swinging in. I'm curious if that is somebody that I know. It might be. It might be. But yeah, you can add in dependencies into this, like React router, and or any of the other one, jQuery, Lodash, anyone that you can possibly think of pretty much exists, and you can build that out in here. But in this like Sandbox and the StackBlitz, they actually scaffold up, kind of like the Create React app thing. Now this is the Vue one, of course. So, but super cool, right? You can here even you can do add dependencies. So if you did want to add in, like, oh, I want to do some Bootstrap here, but you saw what I was trying to show. If I could type, that would help. Bootstrap, come on. But yeah, you can see you have the availability, font awesome, all these things. So yeah, super cool. I think those are great places. Again, if you don't, you could be on a Chromebook, right? You can't install an IDE. You only have cool. Just followed about halfway done with Coding Camp. Oh, are you talking about freecodecamp.org? That is a phenomenal platform. Absolutely phenomenal. In fact, I just did this because I was trying to do something a little different. I wanted to actually go through, because Mozilla Developer Network is kind of known. Jeez Louise, what the heck, man? That thing, did you see how that held on like that? That's strange. Like, slow down. Stop right there. Okay. MDN is kind of known as like the holders of the JavaScript documentation. So I just was like, I just wanted to, kind of dig into the documentation. It kind of took me down a road. We kind of got a little twisted. It's not laid out exactly the way I was hoping, but it's okay. We still worked it out. Codecademy. Yeah, Codecademy is a great one too. I've used that one plenty of times. There's so many great resources out there, and so many free ones. And hence the one I mentioned as well, freecodecamp.org is probably one of the most leveraged ones I've seen as of late for web development. And I mean, it's extensive. And it's done really well. All the exercise, everything is done in the browser, right? You're able to, now granted, you could do it outside of the browser. That's fine. You could set up your own environment if you want to. but you don't have to, and that's the beauty of it, right? You could literally be on an iPad if you had to, or something along those lines, and be able to and get through the courses. They go from soft skills to the coding and everything, language, React. They do Git. I use Free Code Camp. It's all right. Yeah, Blue Eyes. It's super awesome. In fact, Chemical X, who follows on here, and I watch him. It's hard for me to catch him a lot of times, although not too hard because I haven't been sleeping great lately. But for me, because he's in Israel, he comes on at like 3 in the morning my time, 4 in the morning my time. But I try to catch him, when I can. And he extensively just uses Free Code Camp and goes through all the stuff. It's awesome. I don't know. Is that his name? I don't know if that's his name. I don't think I've ever been on when he said he loves to memorize everybody else's name. um, is from his no. He goes by Chemical X. Like S. How does he spell it? It's like let's see if I can remember here. He's really entertaining too. He's fun. He's a fun guy. He's just learning coding, and he just does some really cool things on stream too. He's got he does all these funky things with his voice. He can do all these like beats and things. It's kind of cool. And a really just cool guy. I was trying to see if I could find it, but anyway, you can look him up. It's like SHEMICALX, like Chemical X, instead of like Chemical X, I guess. Are you thinking of starting a Discord server? I think it would be great for followers to help interact with each other. Yeah, Ethan, I think I will. I think I have one. I haven't been back into it in a while, so I'll definitely do that. I'll look at that and get it set up again, and then I'll have it available so that we can do that next time. But yeah, what were we even? I'm like, what were we even doing? Oh, we were messing with this because I was like, I don't remember CSS that well. I don't remember it. I was surprised I remembered this. But we're like, okay, how would we get this out? So the first thing is you probably want to limit, right? Let's go to the HTML side of things here, right? So we have our select, and so we'd actually, in the numbers area here, probably wrap this in a div, right? And now we don't even need to really give it, because it's the only div on our page. We don't have to actually give it any like yeah, help me out folks. I being new to the streaming game, I know other people use Discords, but I wasn't even sure. Like, I'm like, is that something that I would even really want to do? Like, I don't know how to do, so let's see, how would we do this? So it's, so we're saying list style none, and then I'm trying to remember, and this, maybe you all can help me out. So if we wanted to, oh, well, first of all, I was going to say, let's take the div, right, and give it like a width of, I don't know, let's say like something like that, whatever. Because that'll limit, right, the amount of columns that we do. Now, granted, we probably could get fancy, but I'm just going to do it simple and see if I remember anything, how to do any of this stuff. So we're giving it a width, right? So that's like basically creating a box around this area here, roughly, right? And then I have the none, but then we're going to need to, that's a big div, right? Is it? You want to go like, let's go 420? 420, no pun intended. And it's the container. Yeah, I'm going to wrap. So I'm basically wrapping like this here, because otherwise it's the whole page, which is not a big deal. I just giving it some width there to contain the days of the month, right? So The other thing I guess I'm going to need to do is, uh, would I do it in the UL, do you say, or would it be like, because I'm going to need to do, right, display, like block, right? Make those block elements, right? And then we can do something like this just to make sure that we're seeing, well, actually no, right? We'd have to give it some, like, we can give it a fixed width, I guess. I have no clue with that. I'm just gonna mess with it like this. 40 pixels. Do we need to do, I guess we could do a height too as well. I mean, technically they should be like squares, right? Typically that's what you see for calendars, right? And then we can just give it a background color so we can start to see what this looks like a little bit. And, you know, feel free to throw in some, this would be better if you did this, but, because I'm just kind of, I mean, anyway, let's just do something simple. Okay, so now we're seeing, okay, those are pretty small, right? Let's go, maybe double that, right? Something like that. That actually looks kind of like 80 by 80. Yeah, just okay. So then we also can do, right? So let's do some margin, I guess, right? Around the outside. I don't know how much we'll need. 5 works. Do some padding, right? Get some padding in there, yo. Let's do it. Fair enough. Buy that. Okay, so let's see, what are you saying over here? I was gonna say Flexbox. Yeah, I know. That's probably what I should do, but or something similar to that. Add some margin for some spacing. Put 50 pixel width. Yeah, well, I was gonna do the squares because that's kind of like typically what you see on a calendar, right? But then the other thing is, don't you have to do? Oh, right. I am gonna have to do the right. How do you do that? How do you do this? Is it? Do you still use? Do you do the display like this? Display flex? What? Or am I? How do you? I don't even know how to do that. If I could type, it would help. Flexbox, and then what do you do? What do you do to make them go? It's like the display. Oh, right. Display. Is it flex? It's just flex, right? That Flexbox is what the thing is, right? So display flex, and then do some flex wrap. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. There we go. I see it. But then, how do you get it to break? Because obviously I have a width on this, right? For the div that this is contained in. Do I need to give, would it be better to just have display flex will line up left to right, if I'm not mistaken. It seems, and then you wrap it. So it's responsive. Okay. What do I wrap on though? The LI? Do I do, because this is right, this is like saying show the UL as a flex, but then isn't there a thing that you do for like the elements inside of it? Because that's the part that I don't know the Flexbox model at all, so I'm really lost in that area. So it would be the UL star. What do you mean? Because right now it's not doing what I want it to do, because it's actually just putting them all across, right? Even though I have a fixed width on it, right? I mean, what if? Nope, that didn't do it either. So that must kick it out. It like ignores this width. Because I mean, even if I went like 220, right? Yeah, that doesn't. Rogue! Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I'm getting taught Flexbox right now. So come join. Help me get my code hustle on. All right, Flex wrap. Okay, is the Flex wrap is that on the UL? Yes, it is. Yes. Thank you, good sir. Or should I say, cheers? Right? Cheers, Ethan. Nice. Sweet. Okay, that's cool. That is super cool. Okay, so right now, though, it's 3, and that's because of this, right? So we can mess with this if we wanted to, and like, right, that should expand it. Boom, there we go, right? You wanted a cup. Oh, I love it. That is cool. And then we can screw around with it, like you said, right? It allows, right? I just meant cheers, cheers, everybody, cheers, cheers. You hear it a lot, right? There's people in England that like literally like, right? It's almost like people here in the U.S. with stuff they do with their. That it was just so funny. I always people you just be talking to somebody, they're all cheers, 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 mate, cheers, mate, cheers, 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 and they just say it like so many times in a row, and just used to love it. Just get a kick out of it, man. I just think people are awesome. Though. Different things that they're the different dialects, the different things we do. It's so funny. People are interesting. I feel like that's too much. Okay, so we got that wrapped. It's how we say thanks. Absolutely, absolutely. Hiya. I remember that all the time. Hiya, 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 hiya. Just walking down the street. Hiya, all the time. Super friendly. Yeah, like I said, you're nice to people. They're nice to you. There's no, Red and black is not brilliant. Oh, I know, right? That's the worst accessibility colors in the world right there. We could see that. Let's see. Let's do this. Oh, I don't know. Do they have that in this too? I'm sure they do. I like to do, let's see. Where are we going? Can I pull this up here? Let's get a color. Right? Does this give you color picker? Sweet. What color do we want our calendar to be? Or do we want to be more of a real, let's see here. Could I go... Oh, there we go. And... What? Actually, no, let's do this and then say, like, oh, word up. Right, we're getting there, we're getting there. Maybe we don't want it that black, full black, and go a little lighter, like, there you go. What color do we want this? Maybe we make the numbers stand out with a cool color. I don't know. Need a better color than that. That's not too bad. It's getting there. It's getting there. We're making things happen. All right, cool. So we got this calendar thing starting to come together. Thanks to this little help from my friend. Have a little help from my friends. Sorry. Little Joe Cocker there. Back in the day. Not doing him any justice by any means with my horrible singing voice, but... What would you do when you sing out of tune? You stand up and walk out on me. Lend me your ear and I'll sing you a song. And I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, baby, now have a little help. That's a good song. I'm destroying it, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Doesn't matter, right? I'm a 60s, 80s type of guy. So you're all about a little Joe Cocker then, right? Me too. I like all music. People always tell me I look really young, but I'm actually 43, so, I actually I know what you're talking about, picking up what you're doing. All right, cool. So we got ourselves a calendar. Oh, this will be. I want to see what this does, like how this looks. This will be cool, right? Because now you can change this. Oh yes, that's sweet. Yes, I like. Go to like May, right? Isn't that 30? Now which one is 30? March? I always forget them days of the month. Here, we'll just go to our cheat sheet, right? And like, which one has 30 in it? I always forget. April's one. That works. I knew I was close. I don't know my own months here. Bam, 30. Ah, yes, that is slick. Like a late 20s. I always, I always joke with people and tell them that I married a plastic surgeon. She keeps me nipped and tucked. That's not true, but it sounds good. I guess I have my parents' genes. I was blessed, I guess. Still got the full head of hair too, Still hanging in there. Still hanging in there. We'll see how long that hangs on for. My dad still looks pretty young. He's like 73, and he's got some good genetics, I guess. So I'm blessed to have inherited those because he's been healthy. Fingers crossed. In fact, Kemp's Alex, welcome to the channel. Good. How are you? Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you swinging by. We're chilling out. We're building a JavaScript calendar. Well, we're going through this little basics of JavaScript over here, and one of the challenges was learning how to do change events, and then now we were kind of just on the fly figuring out like some styling, and the folks in the stream helped me out with Flexbox because I've never done Flexbox really, other than know about it, but not the actual syntax or wording that I needed to get it to work. So, like I said, a little help from my friends. We got it taken care of, and now we're just kind of messing around just to see how it was working. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we're doing good. But yeah, Ethan, like we were just talking about like genes and stuff, like genetics, whatever. My grandfather, he actually he passed away. Not to bring anybody down, but and no reason to. But he had passed away last Wednesday, but 92 years old. Pretty awesome. He basically retired like in 1986, and then fished for the rest of his life. That was his passion, was fishing. Worked for 42 years at a paper mill, retired, and spent the rest of his life on a boat, basically. I mean, he lived in a house, but lived right across from the lakes and the rivers and everything else. And he was well known in the area as Richie the Fisherman, and knew all the honey holes, as they say. And so, yeah. So I guess I'm getting some genetics from there too. So fingers crossed. Now I'll make it to 92. No, thank you, Ethan. It's one of those things where it's sad because you don't want to, you hate not being able to see that person again, not be able to talk to them again. But man, 92, that's a good run. Didn't go out sick, really. He just kind of just old age, just started to just his mind was still super sharp up and all the way up to the end. I mean, I was there with him literally on his, as they say, on your deathbed. He was luckily he was able to be brought back to his home and had his family around him. But even in then, man, held his hand and looked down at him and, was told him, it's okay, Granddad, you go ahead and pass on. We're okay. You don't need to worry about us anymore. And he gave me a little smile and everything, even in all that. He was a unique individual, and I feel honored to have known him and have some great memories, especially around fishing with him. So although it's sad in the sense of not being able to see those people anymore when they do pass, but he did it right. I think did it pretty well. So I felt good about him moving on. His wife had already passed on, and everything. So hopefully, they are together and hanging out wherever this world takes us. So, yes, sir, Muhammad. I believe he did. So, yeah. All right, cool. So we got a count. I want to see this part, right? So, doesn't this have where you can mess with this, right? What am I looking for? I guess I have to F12 it here, like that. Oh, this is actually, does this? Oh, interesting. I thought this would wrap more. Because here's the responsive design, right? Maybe it's because it's in here. I was just curious, like, because that didn't. Yeah, see, it's still keeping the 4 columns. I thought this would actually, like, start wrapping, but it doesn't appear to do that. Now, is that though because? Yep, I was just Ethan. I swear, you just took the words right out of my mouth. I was just gonna say that's because, right, we have this width set, right? So if I was to Boy, slow down there, Chief Raka. Why is that not putting that in there? That is strange. Why can I not get a? All right, well, whatever. So let's just see. I'm just curious. So I'm just gonna cut that out right now for a second. Okay, so now, right, it's just gonna base itself on. And Blue Ice is saying use max width. Right. Okay. Well, first let's do it without it. I'm just curious. Okay, so like without it. Oh, there we go. Right now we're getting our. Let's see. Will it go down to 1? Okay, it goes to 2 basically, that's fine. Because I mean, this is smaller. That'd be an unusual looking phone, wouldn't it? Yeah, I got the new thin Razer phone. Have you seen it right here? Got a super slim tech design. It's really sweet. But yeah, so cool. It's wrapping. It's doing the thing. Now it is a little weird because I am doing it in this other like kind of odd window, I guess, with all the other frame or whatever in there. But yeah, we can see it's doing what it's supposed to do, right? It's actually flexing. It's doing its responsiveness. Now you can actually see their stuff's doing responsive stuff, right? Which actually just goes to show you another implementation of some responsive design, right? Because their windows up there go to a full window like that. When you go a little bigger, it goes to the left side, right? You go a little bit bigger, you get the full, and then you get the panels that go where you can expand and contract them, right? Which is sweet. So, but let's try what Blue Ice said, right? He said if you did max with this, actually let me do this. I think I cut it out, right? So if I did that and then said max with 620, does that still rock and roll this bad boy? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Blue Ice in the house. Sweet. But now it's set, right, to a max width. That is cool. I like it. There we go. Responsive design in the house. Man, that was cool. Okay. I did not forget about you. I don't even know if you're still in the stream. Attitude in the house. Where's the link, man? Let me see. Where's the link? Ah, nice. You're still lurking. Cool. Let me scroll up here. I didn't forget about you. I did not forget about you. I'm gonna go check out what Data 2 Attitude's been working on real quick here. We like to We like to show off our fellow viewers here and see what kind of awesomeness they're building. Let's get this thing out of the way here so we can get a little bit better. All right, cool. So I like this. This is those little instructional walkthroughs, right? I think that's so cool. Yeah. Who doesn't like Bob Ross, right? Blue Ice throwing the Bob Ross in there. We'll just go ahead and make a couple pretty little birds over here. And happy squirrel. You know, let's just go ahead and add that. Oh, that's just a happy little mistake. Don't worry about that. Love Bob Ross, man. I think he was smoking a lot of pot. Good for him. Or marijuana, cannabis, whatever you call it these days. Medicine, that's what I say. Yeah. Personally not allowed to participate because of my job, but, you know. If they ever do, I will. Because medicine, in my opinion. Cool, so this is like the walkthroughs, right? Double A is by far the strongest hand, and hold them. Oh, let me go back. What did the first thing say? First, pick your betting pattern. Choose hands. Raise for bet. Call. In the case of cool. Okay, no, you may have to click back and forth to get the right button highlighted. Okay. Boom. Double A. Time to paint the little rascal. Rascal, right? Right, Blue Eyes? He was such a trip, man. So everybody loves him. Cool, so walking through. Boom, boom, showing going to strongest hand, turn it into bluff. When someone raises us, select raise for bet fold. Oh, makes the perfect bluffing hand. It's strong enough to raise for. This is cool. Are you using any like frameworks and stuff in here? Data. This is right. Is this like a plugin or something like that for that? Yeah, React and Rails. Cool. React on the front, Rails in the back. Yeah, Ethan's like, I already went and inspected on the stuff. I know what's up. Or you could have known if you had the extension right here, right? That says, this page is using production build of React. Right? Very handy, very handy. Where is the thing for that too? Oh, here. I'm like missing. I'm so used to the developer tools in Chrome. I'm still getting used to Firefox, and no reason. Just happen to use Firefox this time around. I typically use Chrome, but let's see components. Of course, these won't look because they're all going to be the production level. So right, they're all K, T, whatever. It doesn't really say the name that Dada named them because it's the production optimized code. But yes, all this fanciness in there. Very cool. Very cool. And got some Rails on the back end. Sweet. Good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. I like it. The board legend, reflop. Cool. Close that down. Nice. Now, I don't know how to play, even though I lived in Texas for a long time, right? I still don't know how to... Should know how to play Texas Hold'em. I'm really bad at card games. Look at the title. Hand range display application. Which surprised me. I'm just expecting a critique about that. You know who would be better to critique this? Someone that actually knew the game better, probably, right? So choose hands. I don't know how to do. I'm really bad at poker. That streamer is a poker player. There you go. Right, you need the tab title. What's the auth on it? Oh, for like login. Oops, something went wrong. Guess that's probably not set up yet. Do you have auth built into this, Attitude? Are you using like oh god, of course it's gonna slip my, or yeah, I forgot. Where did you say you were hosting this? Is this this might be something. It's AWS. That's what I thought. I could have sworn I remember you doing that. So you can use like incognito or something like that, right, to do your auth on there if you want. It was set up, but I broke it. Go ahead and use auth. Who needs authorization? Who cares? Just kidding. One suggestion would I be, well, maybe this is also because you're not logged in, but I would definitely make it to where if the person has gone through this, and maybe what you would need to do too is, here, I'm just gonna refresh it real quick again. Maybe have a like a dismiss or something. I mean, this is kind of a dismiss right here, in all honesty, but so that, and this could be like, I guess you could do it in, you know, local storage if you wanted to, or if you wanted to make sure that because I would think what you don't want the person to have to go through that every single time if they are coming back, right? Going to replace those two paragraphs with a button to run the tutorial, right? Yeah, I would make it so that once the person does go through the tutorial, that once they come back to the page every time, that it doesn't show that anymore. And you could do that probably either through, you know, the storage API inside the browser, or if you want to actually store it against their profile in the back end in their, you know, when they register and stuff, and you have that in the database, you can add another element or another you know, storage element for, you know, did they, you know, just a boolean basically, right? True, false. Did they go through the tutorial or not, or did they dismiss it? And if they dismiss it, that means they don't really want to see it anymore anyway, right? Now, of course, you could always have it available here, like, or somewhere on, you know, to say like, oh, what's that, and have run the tutorial again. Cool. Ain't none reading paragraphs. Yeah, okay. But yeah, that was just the first thing I noticed as far as like, but yeah. Super cool, man. It's come a long way from when the first time you showed it. But yeah, I need to learn how to play Texas Hold'em first. But super cool, super cool. All right. Jeez Louise. Do you see how late that was? Hi, Kemp Alex. Did somebody follow earlier and I didn't see them? Rogue Tomataz. Apologies. I think I missed your follow. I am sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. Normally I hear it. 4:22 a.m. here. Only off by 2 minutes. Roll on up and blaze it out, brother. if that's what you like to do. Right? 4:20 everywhere. Right, that's what they say. 5 o'clock somewhere, right? We could just we'll come up with a new saying instead of that 5 o'clock somewhere. I don't know if you hear that in the UK, right? Well, 4:20 somewhere. You get it. You get it a couple times. That would be legal here. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was just, you know, saying. That's so. One follow left, huh, Muhammad? That's it. And then we're there. And then we're there. And then we'll make it. One step closer. Oh, I'm feeling it. Yeah, right. It's a personal choice. I'm like, hey. Honestly, though, I mean, from a medical standpoint, honestly, I definitely, there's a lot of there's a lot of very good research and you know, science behind the, you know, the benefits of it. I mean, okay, so there's cannabinoids inside of cannabis, right? And our bodies actually have an entire cannabinoid system inside of it. So the plant was put here for a purpose, whether you believe it or not. I mean, I've done a lot of looking. I have family members that have medical issues and stuff, and so we look at anything we can alternative wise to, you know, not take pharmaceuticals that are friggin' half the time poison, killing you anyway, right? The natural. It's the reason why it's not legal, right? Because it's something natural that helps you, and you can do it on your own. So if big pharma can't freaking slap their shit all over it and make you buy a new, let's put it this way. This is what I like to say. There's no money in the cure. All right. So if you're a business and your model is, you know, helping people or whatever, I guess I don't want to say that, but let's just put it this way. Big pharma their interest is not in making people better. Their business is making you buy that fucking prescription every month and continue to take it for the rest of your friggin' life until you die from it, pretty much. Sorry, I have some opinionated things. I'm not saying all medicine's bad, obviously, but there's a reason that we have a pain pill epidemic in the United States. Shoving freaking Oxycontin and hydrocodone and Percocets and fucking methadone and shit down people's throat, calling it medicine. Insane. So, I digress. Anyway, I think it's a great alternative to, and it's shown and proven some of the massive benefits. Here's the most, sorry, I said I digress. I'm gonna say one more thing. Here's one of the most hypocritical things in the world. The United States has a patent on the cannabis plant, and in their own US patent, in the first several paragraphs, talks about the massive benefit to mental and brain diseases such as Alzheimer's and dementia and like all kinds of other things, and how they've shown through science the massive benefit of ingesting cannabis for that. And then they turn around and it's illegal, even though there's like 44 something plus states in some form of legalization right now here in the US. One of these years, they'll get their head. Here's a perfect example, right? We're in this massive pandemic, right? We have huge economic issues going on right now, right? Because of work being out and all this other things that are going on. How are we going to stimulate the economy? I don't know. There's this magical plant that you could actually legalize, and if you go back and look at the research behind the amount of money that states revenued when they first made it legal from a medicinal standpoint. Okay, so Colorado was the first state in the United States to make medicinal marijuana legal, right? And in the first year, they revenued so much money after giving it back to roadways, schools, medical. They had so much leftover money, they were distributing it out to their citizens of the state because they didn't know what to do with it all. Now there's like 40 something, whatever plus of states just like that, right? And but we're having this, how are we going to stimulate the economy? That's one way. Legalize it federally. Let suckers go out there and create farms and dispensaries and everything else, and boom, trust me. Hey, there's a lot of people turn to it during this, right? Because they're stuck at home, they're fucking miserable, they need something to help them build, maybe bring their spirits up a little bit. And so you're seeing a lot more usage, in all honesty. So, I don't know. I'm not a freaking financial expert, but I don't know. It seems like a cash cow to me. True, Ethan. True. You are correct. Sorry. All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna kind of end on the fact that we created that was actually the conclusion. That actually was doing the calendar, I think, right? Oh no, we did, this is the color change one, but I actually did this one already. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it an evening. It's already 11:30. And apologize for getting too political. Yeah, I know I shouldn't do that, but just sometimes the idiocy gets to you. So I had to have a little rant there. So apologies. I'll try to refrain from doing that in the future. You are correct, Ethan. You really shouldn't get into any heavy topics like politics or religion or any of that stuff, right? And I definitely don't want to offend anybody, but I definitely have my own opinions about stuff. But we'll try not to do that anymore. We'll try not to do that. We'll keep it code related. Now, if it's code politics, does that count? Can I talk code politics? This framework is better. Just kidding. Right. Yeah. No, you're correct. Right. Because someone jumps in and they're like, what the heck are they talking about in here? Oh, geez, Louise. Exit. Get out of here. Unless they're pro, and then they'll be like, what's that guy talking about? Sweet, man. I'm all about that. Right. So super cool. Thanks for everybody for stopping by. Thanks for all the follows. We have Rogue Tamataz, Blue Ice, Jacob, SM1, Ethan J. Hill, Kong KZ. I have some that followed here when we weren't on stream. We have Grid.dev was the other one 10 hours ago. Sweet. I'll take that. More power to you. Thank you, Ethan. Appreciate it. Hey, thanks for all the help with the Flexbox stuff. And we'll be back on I'll most likely, typically I do Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, although I'll probably be doing more streaming here lately. Some things are shifting around wise, so I'm gonna have more time on my hands, and so I believe I'll probably be doing some more streaming, which is all fun and awesomeness. So yeah, you too, man. It was awesome to nice meeting you, and hopefully hope you swing back in and say hi, and what else do I want to say? Nothing. Have a phenomenal rest of your week. Have a good Friday or whatever day it may be for you tomorrow, and we'll catch you on the next stream, which should be Sunday at 8 o'clock. We usually do Syntax Sundays, and we'll continue on with learning some code, right? We're keeping up our code hustle. And again, hit me up in the whisper in my Twitter, JD_Hirsch. You'll see it in the end here. If you'd like some stickers, you can whisper me your address, and I will send you out a pack of some stickers. If you throw in like your language that you prefer or whatever, I might be able to. I need to get some more, but be able to get you some more. But otherwise, we'll get you the Code Hustle sticker and some other related web development stuff. So with that, yeah, we'll get it. UK shipping, it's all good, man. I sent stuff to New Zealand last week, and we sent stuff to Canada, and yeah, so a few other places. But yeah, so far we haven't had any issues, so we'll see. We'll do, if you come on Discord, add me with Ethan Hill. Okay, cool. Yeah, sweet. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that, Ethan. Definitely. That was a good suggestion, and maybe that'll help keep some track of some stuff. So, sweet. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great evening, morning, good night, or whatever. Afternoon, and as always, keep up that code hustle. We'll talk to you soon.